What is up, everybody? How's it going? Thank you for your patience. Just setting some of this stuff up. As always, let me know if my audio is good. I think it is. I think we're ready to rock. Let me know if the music's a little too loud, maybe not loud enough. And we're gonna get started here. Let's switch over to some more. Like just chill music. 10:43 p.m. Central Time. We're here for another episode of Casual Friday. Man, episode 5, man. That's exciting. That's exciting. We're here on a Friday night. Getting a little bit later of a start than usual. I know there's a lot of great streams going on, a lot of things you could be doing, but you chose to be here. Truly appreciate it. We're going to jump in here pretty shortly, but I want to know how everybody's Friday is going. Let me know in the comments. We're going to get to these comments right now, and I want to know how everybody's Friday is going. And we're going to start things off with Mitchell Lawrence saying what's happening. What is up, Mitchell Lawrence? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate it, Mitchell. Just excited to talk about some figures, some movies, some different things, man. Got a couple of things that we're going to talk about that were just announced today. So I'm excited about that. We got Darth Tamaris in the building, everybody. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Darth Tamaris, I'm doing very well, man. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well as well. Means the world to me that you're here, man. Dropping a comment. Really appreciate you, Darth Tamaris. Again, man, thank you so much for being here, and hope you're doing well. Malgus for Emperor says, coming over here so we can have a real Ahsoka ranking. I don't know, but yeah, man, I'm going to get my Ahsoka ranking out. It's a little bit different than what, than I guess you could call it like the community rankings. So we'll see. Malgus saying, all right, the real show is starting. I appreciate that, Malgus. I know that, like I said, man, a lot of great streams, a lot of great streamers going on right now as well. So no hard feelings if you guys are checking that stuff out. Thank y'all for being here in any capacity. It means a lot to me. We got Christian Crosshair Cooper. What's up, Justin? What's up, Christian? I hope you're doing well, man. Truly. My thoughts and prayers have been with you, man. So hopefully you're doing well. Good to hear from you, man. And I know you're all in on this Lord of the Rings line, man. I hear you in the comments. I feel like you're going to be going all in on that line now. Malgus saying, looks good and sounds good, Justin. Thank you, Malgus. I appreciate that, man. X-Men Supreme with just great comment after great comment. In this house, casual means underwear. Hey, man, however you want to show up, X-Men, that's casual to me, man. So I appreciate it. Again, 10:46 on a Friday night, man. Let's keep it casual. Let's relax. Get a snack, kind of, get the blanket on you, man. Let's just talk about some figures, some movie stuff like that. X-Men Supreme got the AC set for a brisk 64 degrees and I'm ready for the stream. Hey, man, that sounds magical, man. If I could sum up what Casual Friday is, I think it's summed up right here. Man. Thank you so much. Christian Santa Amber. Yeah, dude, you're all in. I could just tell. You're kind of like me. It's like that Ahsoka line, like some of these other lines, I thought I was just going to get one or two things in. Yeah, man, it's tough. All right. 7 in the chat, guys. I know y'all have already probably done it, but hit that thumbs up button before we get started. I'd appreciate it. And if it's cool with you, I think we're going to jump into our first topic, especially with X-Men Supreme in the building. I definitely want to talk with X-Men Supreme about this. And we're going to kick it over to this right here. We're going to be talking about the Hono Studios Wolverine Unmasked 6-scale action figure. Really excited to be jumping into this one. So I know there's some comments on this because there is a lot of people that have gotten the Hono Studios Wolverine. There's even been the brown suit Wolverine, and now we get an unmasked version. So I'm very interested to hear, especially from guys like you, X-Man, like people that have picked up the other pieces. Like, what's your kind of what your thoughts are on another release. Kind of let me know in the comments below. I will say, if we're just talking about this release as a standalone thing and we don't think about the other stuff, this looks really damn good to me. I think it looks really, really good. And, I think the thing I like most about this figure is I feel like with what Mondo has been trying to do with their X-Men line, they've been doing a good job. But the Hot Toys, the Hono Studio stuff just feels more like your regular figure to me. Like, I kind of like that a little bit better than some of the more like versions of the way that Mondo does it, and Mondo does really good stuff too. But you know, this one to me, like I just wish they would start. You know, they're doing comic versions. I wish they would start doing. You know, again, man, I'd love to see an X-Men 97 line. I'd love to see some other thing like that. But yeah, dude, this looks really good. The hair sculpt is incredible. I love this look for Wolverine. I think it looks really, really good. And yeah, I think that, you know, for me, I think that's kind of what sets itself apart for me is like, yes, I get that it's like pretty much the same version. And that is a little bit annoying. If we're being honest, that's a little bit annoying that we're getting this version on top of the other version we got. But I do think that this looks good. I really do. Hold on. Let me, my audio on my end. I know it probably sounds funny. Let me fix this real quick and then we'll get right back into it. All right. We're going to take a look at some of these pictures though. Because I think that this really does look strong. I mean, again, man, you can't go wrong with like the Jim Lee suit, man. You can't go wrong with that blue and that yellow. It's just, you know, it's a work of art, man. So for me, this really does look really good. We got Yomo in the building, everybody. Yomo, thank you so much for being here, man. Yes, definitely check out, maybe head over. I obviously want you here when you're done, but definitely go check out Steve's stream over there. I think you'll be interested to see something over there. Malgus saying exactly. Yeah, thank you, Malgus, for looking out, man. X-Men Supreme says the figure is beautiful. This is the only way to do a proper neck for this figure, and I'm down for it. Yeah, dude, that's a great point, man. That's a great point that I actually wasn't thinking about till you mentioned it. So that's a really good point. How do you feel, man, because I know that you have the other version. Like, is this kind of a slap in the face to you? Do you kind of see, are you okay with it since it is, you are getting a sculpt? I mean, obviously you wish that they would have had the sculpt with it, but I do think that getting it at a certain price point, that would have definitely raised the price point if you were to get the sculpt with this. But I'm just interested to see what everybody thinks about that, especially people that have had it. Malgus says, not into Hono, but the figure is amazing. Yeah, that's kind of me, man. I haven't picked up a Hono figure yet. If I was to pick up one, it would be either this one right here, the unmasked version, actually, or that Thor that was kind of advertised. I really think the comic book Thor would look really, really cool. X-Men Supreme says, a lot of collectors will get two of a figure just to have one with the mask and one without. This is the same thing, except it's going to have a proper neck. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, man. I think, again, I know how all in you are on Deadpool Wolverine line. I know pretty much any X-Men, any Wolverine especially, man, you're all in on. So that's, I think those would look great together. He says, I have both Hono Wolverines released and I have this on order. And if they do him and his civvies, that I'll get that. Yeah, dude, that would be cool, man. Yeah, dude, I feel like, yeah, that's Wolverine's just that type of character for you and for a lot of people, man. So if you're going to collect multiples of a character, Wolverine is definitely one to consider. X-Men says, I think for the average collector, this is shitty, but for the hardcore Wolverine fan, that's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. If you were somebody who just wanted one Hono version Wolverine and you picked that one up and then this one came out, you're kind of like, damn, why couldn't they have added this head sculpt? But again, for this price point, man, it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, I do think that it is just the same figure pretty much with the head sculpt. So, I mean, I do understand that. Like, because, you know, to get that other head sculpt, they probably just assume spend another $50 on top of their Hono price to get that. But, I don't know, man. We just see it all the time with these figures. Like, you're getting multiple versions of the same character. So, just kind of how it is. Malgus says, Magneto is the only one that intrigues me so far. Yeah, Magneto looks fantastic. Yomo says, okay, I appreciate the heads up. I'll check it out tonight. Okay, Yomo. Definitely do so, man. X-Men, totally agree, man. This 100% what he looks like in the comics. It is fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's what I love, man. That's kind of, we're a lot, you know, we're alike in that sense. We're nostalgic for that look of the character. We're nostalgic for, you know, that version of the character. So definitely. Let's take a look at a few more pictures. I know a lot of you have probably seen this a lot already, but let's just go through a few of these pictures. I've yet to be able to talk about this figure, so I'm kind of excited, to be honest with you, to dive into these photos, which are great. They really do sell these figures with these photos, man, because I think they really just knocked them out of the park for the most part here. and we are going to I'm gonna start sharing some photos here. Again, Wolverine unmasked 1/6 scale action figure, Hono Studios. Yeah, dude. I mean, if you've seen this suit, you know, and again, with Hono, you can kind of see right here as well. Like, I love this. This is one thing I do love that they do, even though this has a lot of height on it. This looks really good on a shelf. Like, I'm picturing this like on a floating shelf, just having like 5 of them connected to each other like this with all your different comics as a background. I think that would be really, really cool. X-Men says that hair is perfect. It really is, man. That sculpted hair is fantastic, dude. Totally agree, man. And X-Men says, and the body on these figures is really good so far. That's good to hear too, man. I've heard good things about these. I've heard good things so far about the Hono Studios line. Hopefully they keep that price point in check, but I think it's going to depend on if we get deluxe versions and all that stuff to see. I don't know, man. I could just see it going up, to be honest with you. We've already kind of started seeing it. Sorry about that if I went out for a little bit. I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. Sorry about that, you guys. If that keeps happening, I'm just going to quickly refresh, so just bear with me. Let's see what else we got here. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I think I'm back. On my end, I'm back, so I'm just going to keep talking as if y'all can see me again. But yeah, I think that's the thing with these figures, man, is like, you know, your mileage is going to vary on which characters you want to get, but I do like the option we're getting with these. Let's take a look at a few more pictures. We're not going to look at every single one they released, but I'm picking and choosing some of these different ones. Again, X-Men kind of already said it. The hair sculpt on this is really, really good. We got Jose G. Hernandez in the building. What's up, Jose? Thank you so much for being here, man. Did Justin's stream break? It probably did, and it might again. I have a little icon that says, hey, refresh your computer. So we'll see what happens here. I got a lot of windows open, so I'm kind of closing a few out right now just to make it go a little smoother. What else do we got here? Yeah, you know, again, we've seen a lot of these pictures already, but I just kind of wanted to give my quick thoughts on the Hono Studios Wolverine. I definitely think that this is one that I'm probably not going to pick up, but I will say, if I was to pick up a version, man, I kind of go back and forth, man. I'll be honest. I kind of go back and forth on if it would be this version or the original version that came out. I mean, I'm leaning towards this. I'm just a big fan of head sculpts. Like, I really like head sculpts, and this is just, you know, again, I keep shouting him out because he's giving some good comments, but it's like X-Men said earlier, man. Like, this is just like the way it looked in the comics. It just looks amazing, man. I really think that this is a great release, even considering that it's pretty much a redo with just a different sculpt for the most part. But you can just kind of see it, man. Like, again, I'm really impressed with the arms here, the veins with the arms. I really like the posability. I love the colors here. This blue, this metallic blue kind of thing going on here. Really like that. Again, I can't stress enough. Like, this is a really strong head sculpt, man. We'll zoom in a little bit on that. Like, this is a really, really strong head sculpt for this for the money you're spending on this. Like, the value proposition here is really, really good. Malgus for Emperor giving some great advice here. Advice that I should follow. Remember, folks, restart your computers at least once a week, and restarting is the same as shutting down. Yeah, that's probably what I should start doing. My computer's pretty powerful, oddly enough, but like, I just think I got, you know, a lot of stuff that I probably need to clear up. Like, I got a lot of, I just probably, you know, it's probably due for a, just got a lot of stuff running at once, which is usually not a great idea when you're trying to stream. And plus, it might be more to do with my internet connection, to be totally honest with you, upload speeds, that type of thing, which, again, just comes with, and I got a fast internet too, man. So sometimes you just gotta accept it. But yeah, man, again, this looks really good. I am interested to see what other characters they're going to go with. I'm personally wanting more X-Men figures. Like, I think that comic book versions of the X-Men characters is going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited to see what they do. Again, that Magneto coming out. We got the Wolverines coming out. I would love to see, you know, again, like Cyclops, you know, Psylocke, like, you know, Nightcrawler, like all these different characters that we potentially might not get like hot toys for. I really want them to focus on that. Now, I get that they're going to go with the big ticket items. They're going to go with your Wolverine, your Spider-Man, your Thor, because they want to sell, they want to get off to a good start here. But I'm hoping they kind of go deeper with these lines, because this would be a great way to be able to pick up some of those characters for your collection without going hot toys money, you know? Yeah, I totally agree, X-Men. I totally agree with this comment. They would kill it if they did an entire Jim Lee X-Men run. 100% agree. I think that would be the optimal thing, in my opinion, for them the path to go down, for sure. For sure. We're going to get to a picture here of, where's the one I was looking at? Yeah, it's right here. Again, man, I just want to look how cool this looks. Like, you got to have the cowl. I love how you still get the cowl. Like, I know that it's going to be sitting like this, but I still love how you get that. Like, that's really cool to me. And I don't know, man, the more I'm looking at this figure, the more I'm thinking that, yes, it is pretty much just a head sculpt. And again, if you already got that other version, you got the brown suit version, I totally get that this is a little irritating. But as we've talked about, like, if you're a big X-Men fan, if you want this version of the character, I do think it's, especially at the price point, having two of these, this one and then the one with the cowl on, wouldn't be a bad idea, especially if you're not interested in the Hugh Jackman Wolverine figure that's coming out. Like, maybe you're more of a comic book collector, like you want to collect the comic book versions. I think you could do a lot worse than this, man. I think this looks really, really good. I'm very excited how good these head sculpts are coming out for Hono Studios. I mean, I really am impressed with what we're seeing so far. And here's what I like too, man. You got this closed hands look too, which I think's really cool. Like, I'm just now noticing this for the first time, actually. So you got these interchangeable hands here. Again, I don't know who would potentially not want the claws on, but I do like having the option. You know, I mean, again, I highly doubt I would ever pose it like this if I was to get it. But it's just cool. I like it. You know, I do like it. I like the options here. And dude, look at this, man. Like, dude, this figure looks really good. Like, it looks really, really good. And X-Man, me and you are on the same wavelength, dude. Jeez, this looks so damn good. I agree, man. I mean, I'm kind of like you, dude. The more I'm going through these images, the more I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, this is like something this might be my first Hono Studios. Again, I can't commit to it because I got so much coming out. I got so many pre-orders my pre-order list is just insane. And also I got the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I got like 2 of those on, you know, pre-order. So I probably won't get it, man, but I do like the options we're getting. I do like seeing this. X-Men says, imagine making a bar diorama and have him sitting there with a mug of beer and a cigar. Dude, that would be so sick, dude. That's what I wish a lot of these companies would start doing. Like, that's what I think that, you know, we talked about Mondo earlier. This is a good comment. Let me go full here. Let me go full real quick. So I was talking about Mondo earlier, dude, and I love what they're doing. They're getting great IPs. And they're giving us like the animated series. They're giving us Spider-Man animated series. They're giving us a lot of things that we want. There's just something about those figures for the price point that I feel like should have more stuff. And a diorama base or like some type of thing that you can make scenes with it. That's the one thing that I feel like the smaller scales do really well, is like they give, you know, you can look at like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles play sets and stuff, and like how many, you know, play sets come with those characters. Like, again, man, I know we're not going to sit here and play like, you know, play sets with our 6 scale figures, but to be able to recreate like a scene, and if they could add that to the package, that would be really cool. So that's what I would really like to see. Again, man, you know, Hot Toys to me, in my opinion, for me collecting, it's like I want to collect the movies. I want to collect the movies that I love, the characters from those movies. But with something like this Hono Studios Wolverine, like these comic book versions of the characters, like, dude, I want X-Men, the animated series. Like, I would love those characters. And again, not saying Mondo's product is bad by any means. It's just for the amount of money you're spending on those, you know, again, the Hono body just looks better to me. I just feel like it looks more like something that can fit within your collection and still give you that animated series comic book version look. And I really do like that. Yomo, it's been a great year for us Wolverine fans. Totally agree, man. It really has. I mean, dude, I feel like if you're an X-Men fan, you're going to be eating good for years to come, because I feel like that is definitely the next wave of stuff that's going to be hitting Marvel, and they're going to be really focused on that. X-Men says, I think I'm more excited for this than I am the one from the movie. Dude, that is wild, man. Like, not wild like I disagree with you, but like I thought, I never thought you'd say this, man. But I know you're huge into the comic look and the animated series look. So this, but dude, that's awesome, dude. Where's Thirst Trap Wolverine going in the display, Justin? Yeah, dude, my lights, dude. Y'all can probably see it, man. Just like, you know, I'm gonna do better with my next one, man. But these lights have been giving me hell, keeping them stuck on the damn display. But yeah, I'm in the market for another display, man. Another display case. I've basically busted this one out at the seams, fitting as much as I possibly can. It's starting to look a little cluttered for me, so we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I need them to make Colossus. These figures pose so well for the fastball special. Yeah, dude, these figures. So you're saying I need to hold on? Let me reread this. This figure poses so well. Okay, so these do pose really well, then, right? X-Man. Like, I know you have the other one. Like, the posability is really good with these, because that's a bonus. X-Men saying, "Oh yeah, this is 100% my Wolverine." That's awesome, dude. Hugh Jackman is incredible. This is where it's at for me at the end of the day. That's really cool, man, that you can decipher that as a fan. Like, you know, you want to collect them all, but I like how you kind of have your version that you really love, and that's awesome, man. Malgus saying, well, you got the $50 gift card to Mono, so get on. Yeah, that's probably going to push me over the edge to get it, Malgus, not going to lie. So I'm excited to potentially be getting one of those. Mono 7. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Malgus. Yeah, I know what you meant, dude. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so let's take a look a little bit more here. So you do get. So I want to show this off because, again, it says Logan comic style head sculpt. We've already talked about that. Wolverine mask and mask off form. I really love that personally. Like, this is a good. Again, if this is the only version you're going to get, I like how you still get the Cal version. Like, you know, I'm glad they didn't like neglect that and just had that off. I'm really glad that they added this. Looks really good there. We've already seen, you know, you can interchange it with your own comic book. That's always a nice touch. And that's kind of like their calling card now, which I think is cool that they kind of have that to kind of reflect on. And then you see it right here, entry grade. So that's the interesting thing, is they're still advertising this as entry grade. Still a little pricey, but I do think that this is probably worth the price for the most part, especially if like this will be the first one you're getting. Again, 1/6 scale. It says high quality, highly articulated, and I think this is the coolest part of these figures. Release looking at Q2 2025. So I do like how they are starting to. The turnaround for these Hono pieces are not that bad. So X-Men says, and that Mondo line is no slouch. The colors pop so hard and they look amazing together. Yeah, dude, that's the thing. They look really good. I've just seen some like reviews, and again, you could tell me better because you know, I could talk right to you and you actually have them. But I've heard that, and I've seen on the reviews, like it seems like they're kind of stiff and like they don't move, they don't pose really well. At least with some of the ones I've seen, like it kind of seems like that. Like that Gambit figure, like it seemed like some of it was hard to move around a little bit, but maybe it was just kind of, since it was a new figure and it was a little, the plastic was kind of hard to move. And yeah, and then we're back at the beginning. So yeah, that's our discussion there for the Hono Studios Wolverine. So let's do this because this is a great time to do our first poll of the evening. Can you believe it, you guys? The first poll of the evening right here, right now, in real time. And I'm going to ask a simple question. Are you picking up any Hono Studios Wolverine figure? Then obviously, yes or no. Kind of want to just get everybody's thoughts on this, and you know, we'll kind of see this. I'm guessing that it's either for you or it isn't. Again, X-Men, if I had to guess, don't want to speak for you, but if I had to guess, it's more that it's Wolverine and less that it's Hono Studios while you're collecting it. If I had to guess. Let's see. Malga says, I'm surprised they didn't put an asterisk next to that Q2 2025 note. Yeah, again, I don't know if they've had delays on the other ones, but it does seem like the turnaround is not too bad, especially compared to like Hot Toys. But it's kind of cool, man. Some of these Hot Toys, especially that Deadpool line, we're getting pretty quick. So that's pretty cool. All right, so again, make sure to vote in that poll. I would definitely like to hear everyone's thoughts on that. Give me 1 second. You guys give me 1 second. All right, sorry, I had to turn my fan on, bro. It's like hot as hell. All right. Let's see. X-Men says, and this is back to for the context if you're just joining, we're talking about the X-Men, the Hono Studios Wolverine unmasked figure. X-Men Supreme says they pose pretty well. They can be stiff, but they hold their poses. My Mondo Logan is crouched so low. It's amazing. No stand. That's awesome, dude. I've had to get replacement parts because sometimes QC is rough. Yeah, well, that's good that it at least poses really well. Like, that's good to hear. Malga says, I'm afraid to get into another line. Shit gets expensive real quick. It does, dude. It does, and I'm really guilty about this, man. I've said this on prior streams. Like, I get so hyped for new announcements and figures, dude, that, like, I'm always saying, like, yeah, man, day one pre-order. Can't wait to pre-order. A lot of times I'm not actually pre-ordering, but it's ones that I've decided are on my like pre-order list. So I have like a real pre-order list, which is actually stuff that I have like NRDs on, or just stuff I've actually verbally like locked in as like a pre-order. And then sometimes I have I'm going to pre-order list. And then sometimes I'm probably going to pick that up at some point. There's a few figures that have come out, like this Moff Gideon, for example, that we're about to talk about. I don't have it pre-ordered, but I really want the figure, man. I really do. So it might be one I pick up. So technically it's not a pre-order, but it's one that I still might pick up. But they do take care of you, so I have no complaints for Mondo. Yeah, dude, I really like Mondo. Like I've told you before, X-Men, I don't know if you've heard me say this in another stream, but I used to collect the posters. I used to collect a lot of Mondo posters and stuff. And I don't have a Mondo figure yet. But I love the IPs they're doing. They're doing a lot of cool stuff with like the horror lines that they're doing. And I really like what they're going to be doing with the Spider-Man animated series as well. So Malga saying, what are we sipping on tonight, Justin? I'm kind of mad at myself because I felt like I needed the energy. So I'm drinking an energy drink, but I'm probably only drinking half of it because it's like I probably won't get any sleep tonight. So we'll see how long the stream goes. But feeling a little tired, doing a little bit of a later stream. I normally go live at about 9:30 Central, which is going to be my normal time to go live, but started a little bit later tonight. Mitchell Lawrence says, I'm not collecting Marvel or DC, so my money is safe in that regard. Yeah, Mitchell, this is smart, man. And I know you said this in another stream. Like, this is smart that you can stay disciplined like this. I wish I had that discipline, man. I really do. Anytime I think I'm like, okay, I'm just going Star Wars this year, a Marvel figure gets announced that I really want. Hey, I'm just going Marvel for a little while. Star Wars figure gets announced. So this is really good discipline, man. All right. So make sure to vote in the poll. I'll leave that up for a little bit longer. So far, we have 67% with no, 33% with yes, just 3 votes. But I'll keep that up for a little bit longer just in case people come in later and maybe want to vote on that. X-Men says, the Rogue figure had some print issues with the sculpts. See, that's the one I really want, is the Rogue one. That one looks amazing. Jubilee looks great too. And they knew about it from checking as things were going out from the factory. That's really cool. Yeah, I've had good experience with Mondo when I bought from them, so that's good to hear that their customer service is really good. Malga says, I have 2 newer Marvel figures and they both have huge faces and it's highly annoying. Yeah, dude, I'm kind of going like no base. Like, I used to think it was deluxe or bust, man, but like, dude, the more space that it takes up, I'm truly going almost no base. Now, this Rocky Balboa figure here that comes with this base doesn't bother me because it's magnetic, so like you have to almost have it. And then 2, I do think it fits a scene for that character, like, because you're not going to get like a whole line of characters, but if I'm collecting like a whole line of something, I definitely don't want big diorama bases. I'd rather have just a big diorama that you can put a few figures in. That'd be really cool. Like, they kind of do with like the Star Wars Vintage Collection or something like that. That'd be really cool. X-Men says, I'm getting 3 new sculpts and a body for my rogue, so I essentially have 2 rogues now. The body was a minor problem, but it was enough to be a bother for me. Very interesting, man. So getting 3 new sculpts. Yeah, so didn't they come out with a second rogue X-Men? It was like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive or something like that. So there's 2 of them, right? And X-Men says, and Jubilee is probably my favorite of the line. She looks great, man. She so freaking colorful and beautiful. These things are pop art. Yeah, I love the way the Jubilee looks. It just takes me back to like the animated series, just all that, dude. I think I'm with you on that, man. That figure looks great. All right, so let's see what we got here. We're going to talk about next. And again, I know there's already probably like some reviews on this, but I haven't talked about this yet. And I kind of want to talk about it because I'll be honest, man, this one's kind of on my radar of like one I want now. And it is the Moff Gideon here. And, here's the thing. Do I think the Moff Gideon is like a must-have figure? No, I don't. But this one, man, really surprised me with how it came out. And I'm going to ask a question here. Bear with me here. I feel like this is a good question, and I can have this up on the screen. So I'm going to ask this. And the question is this Moff Gideon a must-have for the Mando line? So I'm really interested to see what you guys think, because for me, I know that they've had that previous version of the Moff Gideon, but I don't think that was the strongest outing for that. Malga says Moff's helmet looks like he has cat ears. Yeah, see, here's the thing though. For me, I'm definitely going no helmet look, like for me. But I will say, like, the reason I asked this question too, Malgus, is because asking if this is a must-have for the Mando line. So if you're collecting the Mando line pretty deep, and again, I'm slowly like trying to build out my Mando line. All I have is Chrome Mando, but I have a few that I'm looking at building. Like, I really want to get like Cobb Vanth. I want to get like, Bo-Katan, Fennec Shand, Boba Fett, all these different characters. But again, we talk about it all the time with like the money proposition of like going super deep into a line. But to get a Star Wars villain, even though Mandalorian season 3 wasn't the most, incredible season, I still liked it. I still thought it was pretty good. Not near as good as the first 2 seasons, because those were like just perfect, almost perfect television in my opinion. I loved both season 1 and 2. This figure has a lot to like, man. Again, your mileage is going to vary on the suit. I get it, the different material, but it just looks really good. And we haven't even gotten to the highlight of it, which is, well, I want to show this first. I just love the jetpack. It looks good. Like I said, man, this Dark Trooper armor just looks really good to me. This is a great comment, and so the Praetorian Guards are most, if you have this, so that is one of the pictures that I actually have, because I totally agree with you, and we're going to get to it right here. And I totally agree with this, because this right here, man, these Praetorian Guards look so damn good. I really wanted to get 2 of these Praetorian Guards to go with my Kylo Ren, so I could kind of recreate the like kind of the Last Jedi scene, the throne room scene or whatever. But they're different. They're different versions, and that was going to kind of bother me a little bit. I could have probably looked past it, but after rewatching season 3 not too long ago, I kind of rewatched season 3 just because I hadn't watched it in a while, and I was kind of getting hyped on. It's kind of like when I think it was like kind of around when they kind of announced the Mando movie. I was like, let me rewatch it. And I've actually watched a couple episodes recently. I watched the season finale of season 3 not too long ago. And dude, this just looks so good. And even in the scene in the show, this looks really good. And I'm just a huge fan of the look. So I totally agree, man. I think it's a must. This display would look awesome. X-Men Supreme says, I only really want Chrome Mando and the swoop bike. I imagine if you're going hard on this line, then this is probably a must-have. Yeah, if you're going hard on it, I think that, I'll put it this way, you definitely want this version of Moff Gideon. This could be the last time we get a Moff Gideon for a while. I mean, it might be the last time, period, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if they're going to revisit this character, because I know the first figure didn't sell particularly well, and I'm thinking this one's selling okay, probably not great either. You probably get it for a cheaper price later on. Malga says, I have one Praetorian Guard, and it's quickly become one of my favorite figures. It really is good, man. You're making me want to get one, dude. You're making me want to get this, dude. But we got to take a look at the highlight of the figure, and I feel like, this head sculpt here, though. This head sculpt here is just phenomenal. Phenomenal head sculpt. You look at the difference, the way the skin is, the aging lines, the rolling eyeball function, even the ears to the hairline, man, like all of it. This head sculpt looks so good. And this is what's getting scary with Hot Toys, dude, is like Hot Toys is giving us such good sculpts now that I feel like anything that's not like at least a 9 out of 10, like we get pissed off about, because they've spoiled us with sculpts like this. Now look, I'm not saying every sculpt they come out with is perfect, but it seems like here lately, man, they have been improving on the promo images. Like, I look back to all these sculpts that they're refining, like, the Mantis really comes to mind, how strong that one ended up coming out at. They revisited it. So this Moff Gideon, man, just looks really good. The more I look at this figure, I'm not going to lie, as hyped as I am on the Ahsoka line, and I think the Ahsoka line looks amazing. I love Mandalorian, man. Mandalorian, like, really, that's why I got Chrome Mando. It was my first figure I ever got, or my first Hot Toys figure I ever got. And I just love the Mandalorian, man. I think that especially the first 2 seasons, again, I know this is from season 3, but I can kind of just, I'm okay with still having this version of the character as the version. But I just think when the Mandalorian is like clicking on all cylinders, man, for me, some of the strongest Star Wars stuff there is, and I'm talking about all time. Like, I think when the Mandalorian is firing on all cylinders, it's some of the best Star Wars we've had. And I don't think that's like a hot take. I think a lot of people will agree with that. And so to get a villain from that show, a Moff Gideon, especially, this guy right here, Giancarlo Esposito, man, who's played, like, who is now, like, because he was such an iconic villain in Breaking Bad, he is now always a villain now. Even though that I believe he got to start doing, like, kind of comedic roles and, like, drama and stuff like that. Like, he is always now go-to villain guy, because he just played that role so incredible. And I could see a lot of people using this as like a custom Gus Fring figure too. But man, dude, the more I look at this figure, man, the cape, just the presence this has. Again, I know he wasn't like the most intimidating villain, but he still chewed up some good scenery, man. He still had a ball. He still had a blast. Like I said, I just rewatched the episodes. He doesn't come into season 3 till like the last like 2 episodes, really. But, I think he does a good job. I think he was a good villain. He wasn't nothing, that was like on scale of like some of these other villains we've seen in Star Wars, but I still think he was a good villain. And this head sculpt, though, man, it's just so good. Malgus Emperor says, my first figure was in-game Thanos. Great choice, dude. Still my absolute favorite figure, and it's not even close. Damn, dude. See, man, that's what I'm talking about. You're making me like, there's so much stuff I still want that I don't have. I definitely am going to be picking up a Thanos, like, for sure. Like, Thanos, like, there's so many Avengers characters I don't have, so many Star Wars I don't have. You really just have to be patient and pace yourself. And that's why it's so hard to like commit to, picking up this figure, because you just look at everything you have left to get still, and you're like, damn, am I going to get this over a Han Solo? Am I going to get this over an Artisan Luke? Am I going to get the, and again, I know you're probably not deciding between this and one of those figures, but maybe you're deciding between this and a Bo-Katan. Maybe you're deciding between this and a Cobb Vanth. Maybe you're deciding between this and, just pick your character from Mandalorian. The line is so big that, and here's what we're going to do, actually. That just gave me a thought. That just gave me a good idea. I think it's a good idea. We're going to do this. we are going to let's see if there's a way I can zoom this in, because I think this will give us a great visual of just if you decided, hey, you know what? I'm going all in. Let me get to this comment real quick, because we got Mark P in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mark P in the building. What is up, Mark P? Thank you so much for being here, man. Got a little bit later of a start. Again, going forward, like I said, normally I go live about 9:30, but there was, I wanted to just start a little bit later tonight, but thank you for being here. What would be a dopo for you if it's announced? Oh, man. You talking just Star Wars, Mark P, or just anything in general? Because there's a lot, but just for the sake of not rambling for 5 hours, let me think on this for a couple of seconds here. But let me know if you meant Star Wars or just in general. Oh, he says anything in general. I got rid of that before we could even read it. Anything in general. Mark P says, hey, how you figure? Good to see you. Good to see you, Mark P. Thanks, man. Let me go ahead and answer this, because this is a great question. And I kind of want to know. So you know what, Mark P? You just gave me some inspiration, man. You just gave me some inspiration here. So we're going to close out the poll. We had 6 votes. It says, are you picking up any Hono Studios Wolverine figures? With 6 votes, we had 67% or 66% said no, 33% said yes. That's about what I figured. Again, 6 votes. Thank you so much, whoever, for everybody who voted. Really appreciate that. But now I want to ask this in a poll, because this is a great question. I think all of us can answer. Actually, I'm not going to do a poll. I'm going to do a Q&A here. Nope. Have no idea what I'm doing. Just realized that the Q&A is for me. So just answer that in the comments, you guys. So everybody answer this question. This is great. This is a fun question from Mark P. It says, who would be a dopo for you if it's announced? So if I'm picking anybody in general, I'll do anybody in general, and then I'll do Star Wars, since we're talking about Star Wars right now. Anybody in general, I would say if they announce an Artisan Thor from the first Avengers movie, that's 100% a day one pre-order, because that's one that I would actually have to day one pre-order to get it. And then I would probably say they'll never do it, but I would love to have like a John McClane from Die Hard, or just characters from those type of movies. That would be so sick to me. Maybe a Hans Gruber from Die Hard, just 80s, 90s action, man. I feel like there's a huge market for figures from that era, and I would love to see it. And then I would probably say, if I'm picking Star Wars, like something they would announced, and I know that a lot of people aren't going to agree with me, but I would love to get like an Artisan Kylo Ren personally. And honestly, man, and again, I know we're not going to agree on this, but I would really like to see like even a Poe Dameron or something like that. Like I personally want to collect some of the figures from Force Awakens. I really, again, say what you want about the sequel trilogy. I get that a lot of people didn't like it, but I really like Force Awakens. I like the characters. I just think that the script kind of let them down, but I would like to see that. I mean, because I know that we're going to get these other figures from like the prequels and prequels. I mean, I could go all day about this. Like this is, I know I just said I wasn't going to go on and on, but it's hard not to, man. So those are definitely some ones. Anything from the prequel trilogy, anything from Phantom Menace, I'd probably pre-order if it was like a major character like Obi-Wan, something like that. But yeah, dude, if they made like an Artisan Thor from the first Avengers, hell, even an Artisan like Hawkeye or something. It doesn't even have to be an Artisan Hawkeye, just Hawkeye from the first Avengers. I would really love to collect like the original 6 Avengers from the first Avengers movie. That'd be really cool. X-Men Supreme says Peter Pool and X-23 would be hardcore dopos for me. That'd be sick, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. I know a lot of people want Peter, man. We'll see. I do think X-23 is a definite possibility. Mark P says T1000. Oh, for sure T1000. I was trying to think of ones that haven't officially been announced yet, but yeah, Jungle Hunter, Predator, and Superman 2 BVS. Yeah, for sure. Malgus, that new T1000 is a banger. It is, man. It looks great. Mark P says Die Hard would be nice. Wouldn't be out of the question. Yeah, we'll see, man. I would love to get that. Malgus says, was Crosshair a 30-day order window? I wasn't in the hobby really when they put him up for ordering. I don't think I was either, Malgus, to be honest with you. again, I collected my first Hot Toys. We're going on a year now because I got my first Hot Toys. It actually came in on Halloween, and it was that Chrome Mando. So we're going almost on a 1 year anniversary for me. But I think that this was already like at least up for pre-order or waitlisted by the time I was doing that. Yeah, this is a good point, X-Men. Or they could just make a Hawkeye from his own damn show. Yeah, great point here. Great point. All right, so here's what I want to share, and I'm hoping that this looks good on the screen because I can't. I want to just let me try this. We're gonna go back to this. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Let me try to get these ads off of here. Still got some. Let me crop this out real quick. That's bugging the hell out of me. All right, so here we go. We got the Mandalorian line here. Okay, so these are all the figures that are available right now from the Mandalorian. And again, I don't even think this is fully updated, is it? Yeah, so with this included, you guys. So we got this screen, and we got this screen as well, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, and then we got Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so just to show you, if you're really serious about going all in with the Mandalorian line, like we like to say on this show, like I like to say, like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about going all in on this line. And then I realized what that actually means. Here's what it actually means. Real quickly, though, X-Men says Die Hard. Now I want... Nice. Malga says, anybody in here have that Mando Ahsoka? It's one I've been... anybody in here have that Mando Ahsoka? It's one I've been tempted to get. That's one that I want too, man. I would really like to see a... that's what I'm really thinking about getting. Like, even before the new Ahsoka comes out. I really like that version of the character. But all right, so you kind of look through here. You know, you got your different versions of Mandalorian. You know, you got the DX20 that we were just talking about here with the Ahsoka here. So again, man, you kind of look here at what you get. And again, a lot of these are definitely Mandalorians. A lot of these are troopers. You got some Boba Fett's here. You got a Blurg here. You got the Armorer. You got some different versions of Grogu. You got IG-11. You got Death Watch Mandalorian. You got Tusken Raider. I mean, and again, here's that version of the Moff Gideon. So you got a lot of options here, and then you even see some of the newer figures that came out. And this is when it really gets like interesting, because then you got Quill here. You got the Pedro Pascal sculpt Chrome Mando, which I have. You got the Swoop Bike. You got Boba Fett. You got Costco Reeves, Axe Woves, Luke, Praetorian Guard that we just talked about. You got this brand new Moff Gideon. So again, man, now with Moff Gideon out, you know, I'm wondering what else we get from Mandalorian. If we get anything else from Mandalorian, or if they're just going to wait for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. I'm very interested to see what else we get from Mando, if anything. I'm thinking we're probably, if anything, we'd get like another Mandalorian, another Din Djarin. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What are like the must-haves if you're building out your Mando line? Again, obviously you got to have Mando, some version of Mando. But aside from Mando, what are y'all thinking here, man? Because again, are we waiting on a potential other Bo-Katan Kryze? Are we waiting on that? You know, are we waiting on potentially? You know, we got another Moff Gideon, but are we going to get another Boba Fett? You know, again, will that be even Mandalorian related? It might be Book of Boba Fett. Probably won't even get another season of that. I don't know, man. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think. I'm really interested on who's going all in on this line, or who has gotten a lot of figures from this line. Magus Rimper says that Luke looks really good too. See, okay, I think this Luke is a must-have for the Mando line. Because if you think about it, man, like think about this for a second. Let's think about how good the Mando show is. Again, we're talking mainly seasons 1 and 2. I know a lot of people had like some issues with season 3, and rightfully so. Again, me personally, I still think like half of season 3 was really good, and then the other half was pretty bad, which makes it a decent season of television. I think the Luke here is a absolute must-have figure for a Mandalorian line, because I think that you could argue that that scene that he's in, the finale of season 2, might have been like the coolest, one of the top coolest scenes in Star Wars, period. Like, I really do, man. Like, when that came out, dude, everybody was hyped on that. That was such an iconic moment, man. I think that's what made the disappointment for season 3 so big, is because you went from that incredible high, dude, that season 2 of Mando gave you. And then season 3 kind of starts kind of good, but then it kind of like, it kind of veers off the path. It doesn't really stay on a structured thing. Like, half of those episodes are kind of filler episodes, and I don't know if they're setting up the movie or what, but it kind of feels like they were just setting some stuff up that really didn't come to light. A few of those episodes where they really focused on the Mandalorian lore and history, as cool as that was, it kind of it's better when Mando is like on a mission. You know what I mean? When Mando's on like a specific mission and he's like the driving force of the narrative, I feel like it's so much more interesting. And Bo-Katan was really cool in it, but again, I just felt like that season was kind of all over the place, but I digress. What I'm getting at is if I'm picking my 5 figures that I want to represent the Mandalorian show out of what's available, this Luke Skywalker, I definitely think is there, because I just think that it's such a cool look for the character. And plus it was so hype, man. Like, dude, that was like, that whole scene was just so iconic, dude. I feel like you gotta have that like brings back a memory when you look at that figure, especially if you have that version where he's got the Death Trooper with it, the deluxe version. So cool, man. Let's see what X-Men says. Let's get caught up with the chat here. That's 37 releases for the Mandalorian. Holy damn. Yeah, it's a lot, dude. It's hard, man. They went all in on this thing. They went all in on Mandalorian, and they should have, because like it was the first, it was this breath of fresh air for Star Wars that I felt like people were waiting on, and they felt like, man, this is a great opportunity to kind of pump out some figures and stuff. So I get it. And X-Men says, well, 36. Yeah, Malga says he likes the Death Trooper. X-Men Supreme says that line is entire collection onto itself. That's why I always say, dude, people that only collect Star Wars, it's even so hard for them to keep up with all this. Like, I think a lot of us collect a lot of different IPs. Even if Star Wars is your go-to, you're probably collecting a few other things. But dude, even if you're just a Star Wars collector, and Star Wars collectors are arguably the best in the game, man, because they really go deep with these things, man. They pick up everything. I say I'm a Star Wars collector as well, but I don't have to get everything, and I collect other IPs, so there's like an excuse not to pick up everything. But I'm interested to see who's picked up like the majority of this line. Malga says, is the Chrome Death Trooper on the list? That is a good question. I'm not seeing, again, this is on Collector Freaks forum. I don't see it, but I know you want that Chrome, baby. I know you want that Chrome. We got X-Men Supreme. This could be someone's entire Hot Toys collection. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, think about all these figures, and we're gonna get to what I think are the like 5 or 6 essentials if you want to collect the line. We got Wayne Timothy in the building, everybody. We got Wayne Timothy in the building. He says, what's up, Justin? I hope you're doing well. Late to the chat. Hope you had a good week. We'll catch what I missed on the replay. Hey, Wayne, I appreciate it, man. And again, I always say this, dude, but we got off to a little bit later of a start tonight. My goal is to do every show at like 9 to 9:30 Central Time on a Friday. But we just had a little bit later of a start. I wanted to, Steve was doing like a special 4-hour stream, so I wanted to kind of delay mine a little bit, so because he was doing some cool stuff on his. But normally it'll be 9:30. But again, dude, the fact that you're even here at all means a lot to me, so I appreciate it, man. Catch it on the replay. Absolutely glad to have you here, man. No worries whatsoever. Thank you for leaving a comment and for being here. Malgus Emperor says Star Wars is my go-to, but it's just the dark side character. See, that's what I've noticed about like Star Wars character. Like, it's like, hey, I'm collecting the OT. Hey, I'm collecting Clone Wars. Hey, I'm collecting, I don't know if anybody does this, but it's like, hey, I'm just collecting the television series stuff. I'm just collecting sequel trilogy, like prequel trilogy, whatever it might be. But that's a good way to kind of keep yourself in check for sure. Mark P says, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so I've only got the Darth Maul 2.0 on PO, and we'll get a Darth Vader down the line. Dude, that's how you do it, though. If you're not, and that's how I am with some other IPs as well, dude. It's like, Vader, Maul, all these characters, you just heard Malgus say it, like sticking to dark side, man. You can't really go wrong with sticking with dark side characters. Those are characters that are like really iconic. And anytime you can get a Star Wars villain figure, those always seem to hold more value over the long haul. I mean, again, they make like 50 Vaders, but like a lot of these ones like Thrawn, even this Moff Gideon we've been talking about, like those are kind of more like rare to get other figures from, and that goes for villains in any type of movie. You might not see them in, you see that with like Marvel characters with the villains and stuff. So X-Men says, were this many releases for Infinity War and Endgame? We will take a look at that next. So we counted up just on this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, 24. I think you said 36, right? 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So 37, yeah. Mark P says, really thought hard, but passed on Grievous. Oh, man, yeah, see, dude. Damn, Mark P, that's tough, dude, because Grievous, dude, with that die cast, man, Grievous might be a must-have. But it's tough, man. You got to, I mean, we're all having to make decisions on this stuff, dude. As much as you might love a character, it's like I do want this Moff Gideon. I do. But when I really think about it, I'm really like writing down my list of figures that I have coming or figures that I want to put money towards. Man, it's hard to justify unless you really want something. Like, it's just tough right now, man, to get everything. Malgus says that is the way. That is the way, Malgus. Movie Canon saying evening collectors just got out of Terrifier 3. Gio, I'm hoping to see it on Sunday. Man. Let me know what you thought of it. I'm sure you loved it. I've been hearing really, really good things on it. So let me know. Wayne Timothy, real quick. And Gio, thank you so much for being here, man. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here as well. If I didn't say that, I can't remember. Wayne Timothy says, I've been building my Star Wars 6-scale universe for 10 years. It never ends. Wayne, but that's cool, man. Are you only Star Wars, Wayne? Like, I know you might pick up like one or two things here, but obviously you would say like you're 90% or more on just Star Wars collecting. Like that's what you do. That's like your main focus. Yeah, it never ends, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, and Wayne, maybe you could speak to this because we're just talking about Moff Gideon, right? We're just talking about this new Moff Gideon right here. I don't know if my cursor is showing up on this, but we're talking about this brand new Moff Gideon that just showed up from Mando Season 3. For you as like a big Star Wars collector, do you prioritize like villains as opposed to other characters, knowing that maybe you're not going to get as many chances to get a villain? So like, is this Moff Gideon even a character that's kind of on your radar, or do you kind of collect OT? Like, where's your head at with that stuff? I'm interested to know. Mark P says, my Vader to get would be Revenge of the Sith, Rising from the Table, another double. Oh man, that'd be sick. Sorry it took me so long to read that. I don't know what the hell was happening. I just lost the ability to read there for a second. Say 36. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, good point. I never thought of it that way, but now that you've said that to me, I can't unsee it now. So now I want the figure even more. Wayne Timothy says 90% Star Wars, Batman takes up the rest. That's cool, man. Dude, I wish I had that discipline, man. I feel like I would love to just be able to collect the one IP, but and again, you probably have the same thing, Wayne. I'm sure you love other IPs, but to have that discipline and be like, hey, man, nothing makes me more happy than collecting Star Wars, then that's what you should collect, man. That's awesome. All right, so here's what I'm thinking, you guys. Again, give me your top 5. Do not pick Mando. We are assuming that Mando has been chosen. And let's even count Grogu in that. And the reason I'm saying that is because Grogu comes with every Mandalorian figure. So there's like 5,000 little Grogus running around. So without picking Mando and Grogu, if you had to pick 5 characters from this selection of figures to represent Mandalorian, and you can only have these 5 out of what's available, what 5 are you picking? Me, I'm going with, and again, I'm only doing this, like, yes, there might be another Bo-Katan. There might be another Bo-Katan that comes out, but right now this is the Bo-Katan. So I think it's Bo-Katan for me. I think it's, man, this is tougher than I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking it's Bo-Katan. I think it's got to be this Luke. I think if you got this Luke and that Bo-Katan, that would look sick. I personally am going Cobb Vanth. I'm going Cobb Vanth, man. I love that character. I think that's just... That to me is where my head's at. I do personally think, man, since we're getting another Ahsoka, I really love this version of Ahsoka, but I don't think you need it for your Mandalorian display. I think you can wait for that other Ahsoka that's coming out, so I'm not going to pick Ahsoka. Man, this is tough, dude. Let me have some help in the chat. Let me see what else we got here. I need some help, you guys. All right, we got X-Men Supreme Set. I have a pretty strong Disney Plus collection from the shows. I do too, man. See, again, not every show is great, but I personally I've really liked Mando. I really liked Ahsoka, so like I'm really excited about that Ahsoka line. I'm excited to see some more Mando characters potentially from the movie. When Timothy says from Star Wars, I mainly go after Lucas era characters, but Mando has a fair representation. Yeah, Wayne. So that's interesting, man. We were just talking about that, I think, before you got in here. Like Mando really was that like breath of fresh air, that jolt to fans, especially if you were like a huge fan of the OT as well. I felt like when Mando came out, like there was just this excitement that hadn't been there in a while. X-Men says Bo-Katan, Armor, Boba. Oh, that's a good... See, I think Armor is too as well, dude. I know that this figure has its issues, but damn, dude, I gotta have Armor in there too, I think, X-Men. I really do, because Armor is just such a constant throughout the whole series, dude. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that, man. You know, this list ain't bad. This list is up there for me, man. I mean, Paz Vizsla wouldn't have even been close if it wouldn't have been for Season 3, but Season 3, Paz Vizsla really brought the heat, bro. All right, let's make a decision here. I'm going Bo-Katan. I am going Boba Fett. I'm going Boba Fett as well. Well, no, see, that's the thing, bro, because I could still get Boba Fett with the throne from the Boba Fett show. So I know I'm kind of cheating a little. Oh, wait a minute. No, you don't get that with Book of Boba Fett. Hold on. So I don't have to look this up. What is Boba Fett with throne? Is that a Mandalorian figure? Is that like Mandalorian licensed? Or is that Book of Boba Fett licensed? I'm very curious. It's hard to judge based on these images. Malgus says, I might be hitting the T2 figures hard. It was the first R-rated movie my grandma let me watch. Yeah, Malgus, dude, I'm going all in on T2. And I know I say that all the time. I really am going all in on that. Because that's not a huge commitment. It's not a huge commitment yet. Okay, the throne was for Mando. Okay, so I'm absolutely in agreement with you. I'm definitely getting Mando or Boba Fett with throne. I feel like he's... I do agree with that. I think he definitely belongs in there. So let's go Luke. Let's go Cobb Vanth for me. So Cobb Vanth, Luke, Bo-Katan, Boba Fett with throne. Gosh, dude. Do I go Armor or do I go Quill with Blurg? I didn't think we'd be on this topic this long. Or do I go Moff Gideon? I think... Dude, this Casca Reeves figure looks great too, by the way. Does anybody have the Casca Reeves? This figure looks fantastic. See, Malgus wants shore troopers. Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. I'm wondering if I'd need to have a trooper in there. I'm leaning towards Scout Trooper because I just love the Scout Troopers from Season 1. And I'll be honest with you, if we had a Miggs Mayfield... Let me go full on this because I got to talk directly to the camera. I got to talk directly to the camera on this. I want you to hear me out on this. We need a Miggs Mayfield. In my opinion, and I know it's just an opinion, but it's mine. In my opinion, one of the great scenes in all of Mandalorian is the scene with Miggs Mayfield and Din Djarin when he has to be unmasked and they're at that base or whatever, and they're going undercover as the troopers. I feel like we need a Miggs Mayfield, man. And if Miggs Mayfield was on here just for that scene in that episode alone, Miggs Mayfield would make the cut. That was like top 3 Mandalorian moments for me. I loved that episode and that scene. I loved that. And dude, Bill Burr just crushed it in that role, man. Like, it gives me goosebumps thinking about that scene, dude. That scene was just like, if you want to show people like, hey, here's what Star Wars can be. You show them that scene. You show them the Luke Skywalker scene, the season finale at season 2. That's what Star Wars can be, man. And I don't want to go too deep on this, but like, that's what it can be. And that's why I think, people are so passionate about it, but like, we see what it can be, man. And when it doesn't reach even close to those heights, it is frustrating, and I think that's why season 3 frustrated us so much, because there were some really good moments in season 3, but there was not one moment in season 3 that even touched the top moments from seasons 1 and 2. And I just think about that Miggs Mayfield scene, man, and just how well written that whole scene was and how tense it was. And it tells you everything you need to know about those two characters in like a 5-minute scene by showing, not telling, And so, I don't know, man. I won't go on like a little screenwriting course here, but to me, that's what excites me about the future. Like what Star Wars can be. We'll see if it ever reaches the heights that it can reach. I think it personally can. I really do. I think that there is still opportunities to tell some really awesome stories within Star Wars and live action. And so Miggs Mayfield not getting a figure hurts me, because I feel like, one, it's Bill Burr. How cool would it be to have like a Bill Burr figure? And 2, I truly think that is one of the best scenes in all of The Mandalorian. Let's get to the chat. X-Men says, I prefer the repaint look for Boba. I agree with that. Even though the scenes where you called it, X-Men, the bird poop suit, even though the scenes that he has in that are really iconic, I do love that repaint. But he showed up in those robes and straight. Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. You took the word. See, I need to read the comment next time, because you said what I ended up saying. But you said it first. This is what I'm talking about, X-Man. Mayfield was a great character. Totally agree, dude. Great character. Dude, I gotta rewatch that scene tonight. I love that scene. I love that episode, bro. I love that. And Bill Burr, by his own admission, doesn't even like Star Wars, and he brought it like that. That's what I'm saying. And I personally, this is my opinion. I don't think you have to love Star Wars to like give a great performance or to. I think you have to have an understanding of Star Wars to create great Star Wars content, to create great movies, to create great shows. I don't mind a fresh perspective coming in there. Like, that's the one issue people have with like the J.J. Abrams stuff. That dude is a super fan of Star Wars. And so there's a lot of callbacks. I think that's why Jon Favreau was such a great choice for Mandalorian. And again, he might be a super fan. I don't know. But it felt like a fresh perspective to Star Wars. It felt like a great modern way to tell Star Wars in episodic form. And it still felt Star Wars, but it wasn't just nostalgia stuff. It was like, it paid honor to what came before, but it wasn't just nostalgia. Malgus says they need storytelling, though. At 100% agree. It all comes down to that sentence right there. If you just have some dude breaking onto a ship and wreaking havoc the whole time, it'll get old quick. Exactly, man. And that's why that episode in Mando season 2 is so great to me, is because there's the highlights of that scene. It's so tense, and it's just people talking at a table. Wayne Timothy says season 2 finale is one of the greatest moments in all of Star Wars. 100% agree, Wayne. 100% agree, Wayne. I'm glad to hear you say that, man. I think that again, I said that earlier, and I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think that this is the consensus. But knowing you're a huge Star Wars guy as well, I know you're a huge Star Wars guy, so I know that for you to say that with as much respect as you have for the OT, that's a huge testament to how strong that moment was, for sure. We got Evil Sneaker in the building, everybody. Hello, Casual Friday goers. What's up? What is up, Steve? Thank you so much for being here, man. If you did not check out Steve's stream tonight, it was awesome. He did a special 4-hour stream tonight. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's why I kind of delayed mine a little bit. Because he was doing some really cool stuff on the stream and did a special Friday night episode. So It was really good. Really great stream. I was actually over there for a little bit. We were ranking the Ahsoka figures. So definitely catch the replay on that and show some support over there. Thanks for being here, man. On Casual Friday. And right here. I mean, this is what you were seeing. Hello, terrible Ahsoka list maker. I mean, evil sneaker. See, Malgus was just not pleased with the rankings whatsoever. Not pleased at all. X-Men Supreme says Jon Favreau was such a gem. Even the way he found the Mythosaur pendant for the show was just fantastic. Yeah, and that's the thing with Favreau, man, is like Favreau is so good at like creating, like you saw what he did with Iron Man. Like he's a great storyteller. And that's what we talked about. Like, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, man, is great story, great characters. Mark P says, is Star Wars your favorite IP to collect, or is it another? This is a great question. Man, this is tough. It probably is as of right now, even though I probably have more Marvel figures right now. I'm very into the first few phases of the MCU when it was out, but when I started collecting, like, you know, obviously the Marvel stuff isn't as strong or isn't as like important to me, but it's getting there again. Like, I feel like if they could continue to go the path they're getting the Russo brothers back, we'll see what happens with the other stuff. But yeah, I'd probably say in 6 scale form. I think it's Star Wars just because of the variety you get. But I mean, Marvel's right there as well. I mean, it's tough to choose. And again, Harry Potter is like, it's not going to be as big because there's not as much to collect. But I am excited for that IP as well, just because getting kind of a version of each one of those characters is going to be really cool from InArt. So, but that was the long way of trying to avoid answering this question. But yeah, I'd probably say Star Wars and Marvel are like neck and neck, man. It's hard to pick, but yeah, Star Wars has so much variety and so much, like, the shows, the movies, different eras. I feel like there's something for everybody there. So, Steve says, thank you, Justin. That was a blast. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Again, definitely catch Steve on Sundays night at and again, a lot of you guys already know this because a lot of you guys watch the streams, but Sunday nights as well. Like I said, that's the normal sneak peek time is Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Malgus talking about our Ahsoka rankings. Once Bannon was taken out of the top 3, it was done. Yeah, I fought for it, Malgus. I know you saw me, dude. I was fighting to have Balin in there, man. So going to RDJ for Doom was such a safe direction, which I absolutely hate. Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing there, but at the same time, there's a small part of me. There's like a big part of me, actually, not even a small part, that thinks that they have some surprises up their sleeve. I don't know if it's as simple as Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom or Victor Von Doom. I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be heavily involved in a bunch of capacities. I don't really know how that's going to look, but I definitely think that announcement was to create this whirlwind of press. But I definitely think that there's some surprises left in store. I really do. I think for Robert Downey Jr. to come back, because let's be honest, man, money, that type of money is hard to say no to. He's got a ton of it already, but I don't think money was the main motivator here. I think that there was something that he felt like they could do at least different enough to warrant coming back. And if not, that's going to suck. But I'm trusting the Russos and RDJ just because they gave us such great moments in Marvel. All right, so we're going to finish this up with this comment or with this conversation here. Again, for me, it's Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Armor, Luke, and Cobb Vanth. I think Cobb Vanth is absolute must-have, man. I don't know if we're going to get a Cobb Vanth again. So that's one I don't have. And if I'm going to pick up a figure from Mando, I think that would be the next one I pick up to go with my Chrome Mando. I would love to have that Cobb Vanth. Wayne Timothy says, the Star Wars universe has such a consistent look since 77 that you can have a few figures from each line. They all display together seamlessly. This is such a great comment. You articulated this, Wayne, in a way that I was trying to kind of. Marvel is like, you never know who's going to, like, more often than not, the character that plays a character in Star Wars normally plays that, like, that's the version of that character. Now, they could potentially recast some of this stuff, but for the most part, it's like Carrie Fisher is Leia, Mark Hamill is Luke, Harrison Ford is Han, you know, Timothy Oliphant is Cobb Vanth. So what I'm getting at is, like, with Marvel, man, they could recast that same hero over and over. You know, you kind of see it with Batman. You know, Batman's a character, as much as I love to collect Batman, and Batman was one that I was thinking of, but it's like, I want to collect Dark Knight Trilogy just because that's, like, my favorite Batman movies. But there's so many versions of Batman, you know, with Star Wars, man. It's like, yeah, there's a ton of Vaders, but, like, that's Vader. You know what I mean? So, X-Men says, what if we never see his face, or if he's using the image of Tony Stark and just pretending he's a variant? That's what I'm talking about, man. I really think, X-Men, that it's going to be something that's going to be like a hook. You know, it's a hook to get us in. And then when we see what they really got going on, it's going to be crazy. Now, I do think that he's going to be a big part of it. RDJ is. I don't think he's coming back just to do like a, you know, just for his character to like end up doing nothing. But I think it's going to be more complex than him just being Doctor Doom. All right. So let's go to our next topic here. You know, since we're talking so much Star Wars, let's just talk about this guy. Let's just talk about him. Might as well. BT1, everybody. BT1. Here he is. BT1. No hate on this figure, okay? I know that some people are looking forward to this. But the part that annoys me is the whole 000 limited and then BT1. It's so weird that, like, people are going to have to, like, if they're going to pick up BT1, they got to go pick up 000. Because I don't know if you just want a BT1 rolling around. But again, man, I don't have a droid yet, so I can't really speak intelligently on if this is worth getting or not. I think it looks cool, don't get me wrong. I think that it should be a cheaper price point, personally. And this is definitely just something that is an easy pass for me. But I'll tell you what's creepy as hell is this right here. What the hell's going on here? Is this 2001 A Space Odyssey? Is BT1 going to let me get back on the ship? I mean, I'm expecting him to say, like, sorry, I can't do that, Hal. X-Men says you could easily have the OG trilogy characters interacting with the Mando Ahsoka lines and it would look great. Yeah, that's what I've been saying about the Bad Batch too. X-Men is like, they've made those look true to the animation style, but they also look good enough live action where it can fit seamlessly. And I think that's what's great about Star Wars collecting in general is like, and again, man, I'm really not even the guy to ask this stuff to. Like, talk to guys like Steve, you know, Wayne Timothy, you know, Malgus, like all these guys who really go hardcore into. And again, I tried my best, you know, I just like too many IPs. But if I was going all in, like if I just collected Star Wars, man, like I love when I see like a whole Star Wars display, you know, I just love too much stuff. So it's hard for me to go that deep into the whole, like, what I've seen. But dude, it's so cool when you can see like the eras of Star Wars, because where Marvel is like, you know, it is the MCU, but there's other Marvel, like, you know, there's Venom over here that's Marvel, that's Sony property, you know, there's the Sam Raimi trilogy of Spider-Man. Like with Star Wars, like in a weird way, it all feels like this connected thing, you know. And I think that's what's so cool about it is like, you know, when Timothy said it best, like from 1977 all the way till today, those figures look seamless together. And I think that's what makes Star Wars such an attractive IP to collect. Steve says, can't believe Chrome Mando goes for so much less than MSRP. The figure is amazing. That is a 10 out of 10 figure, man. I mean, again, it doesn't have the rolling eyeballs and stuff, but again, I'm not going to knock it for that just because it's, you know, but that figure looks fantastic. And it just, it poses well. It's got a ton of accessories, got a great head sculpt. Again, I'm biased because it was my first ever Hot Toys, but dude, I love that figure, man. I love it. Exit Supreme says, I want HK47. Hot Toys needs to make HK47. I got to get to this great quote, though, or this great, where was it? Oh, here it is right here. I'm sorry, Justin. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, dude, this just gives off like those HAL vibes, dude. 2001 Space Odyssey, man. Malgus Emperor says, but give me Nihilus. Malgus Emperor he knows what he wants and he better get it. Steve says Grail. Steve, I think this is Steve's most anticipated figure of the year, so it finally being here, I know he's happy. Mark P says, have you pre-ordered ESB, Chewbacca, Grievous, Kit Fist? Okay, I gotta go full screen for this, because Mark P, let me tell you something, Mark P. Let me tell you something. Lean in close, Mark P. Get in close. I want to talk to you. You're dropping the heat with these comments, man. Because I had, some topics planned, but these comments are too good not to answer. This is a great comment, and I'm going to answer the best I can. Because remember I said earlier I have a real pre-order list, a pre-order list that I say I have, but like when I really go back to look, I'm like, oh, damn, I actually didn't pre-order that. And then figures that I don't plan to pre-order because I might want it as soon as it drops, so I wait till it drops, and then I go pick it up early. ESB Chewbacca, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have this one pre-ordered yet, but I plan on getting it. Kit Fisto is a pass for me. That's an easy pass for me. I'm not as hyped on Kit Fisto as other people are. Dude couldn't help Mace Windu. And again, I know he does some cool shit in Clone Wars. I know. I'm talking about this figure is based on episode 3, and the dude just gets wrecked in about 2 seconds, and Mace could have really used him. It would have been nice if Mace could have had a little bit of help. Just a little bit of backup would have been nice. Darth Sidious. Okay. So they have this Darth... Dude, when is that one coming out? That Darth Sidious for Clone Wars, man. That's one that I can't believe is not out yet. But, okay, so if I'm being real with you, dude, the only one I have actually pre-ordered is Grievous on this. A few people are getting me really hyped for Revan. So I'm going to go deep dive into Revan and stuff, and I'm sure by the time that figure rolls around, I'll be picking it up. Because everybody just says, like, dude, if you don't know Revan, like, because I don't know the character as well as other people. I know a little bit about the character, but I haven't gone like as deep with that character as other people have. So, and I'm okay to say that. Like, you got to admit that to yourself. You can be like, hey, that's the corner of Star Wars I haven't really visited too much. So now it's time to expand my Star Wars knowledge. Go see what Revan's all about. By the time that figure comes out, I could probably have that in the collection. Out of all these, man, the one I'm most excited about is probably Grievous. And a close second is going to be that Empire Strikes Back Chewbacca. I don't have any OT Hot Toys yet from Star Wars, man, so I'm looking forward to picking that up. X-Men says, eventually I'll get the Chrome Mando. I'll be honest with you, man. I think this is a must for you, X-Man. That would be... You could get that, dude, and that would just represent that show for you, man. I don't really think you would... That's all I have for Mando right now, and I'd be okay if that was it. I just love the show so much that I want more. But, dude, it's such a great figure, man. He looks great with any era of Star Wars you put him with. Malgus says, Star Killer and Revan were automatic dopos. X-Men Supreme says, I have Revan, Han, and Chewie on order. That Han, dude, I cannot wait for that Han Solo. I know people have said what they've said about the hair. I get it. I love it. I love that big hair, dude. I love that big hair, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Mark P says, love you, man. Thanks for answering. Thanks, Mark P. Yeah, dude, of course, dude. These are great comments, man. This helps with, like, again, we're past midnight, baby. We're on casual Saturday now, if you're Central Time. You know what? Let me get to these comments first. But now, Mace does have the clone armor to fit him in with the Clone Wars figures. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, the Mace is one that I'm shocked I don't have yet. I was so disappointed in that sculpt, dude. I'm going to be honest. Same reason I didn't end up getting the Toby Spider-Man. The sculpt just wasn't strong enough for me. See, this is the thing, man. This is what that's the thing. That's the thing. Clone Wars made Kit Fisto a badass, and then you go watch the movie and he's a wet fart. Yeah, dude. It pissed me off so bad, dude. Revan is so good. Yeah, dude. I gotta get my knowledge up on Revan X, man. Mark P says Kit Fisto got obliterated fast. Yes, yeah, dude. He goes in there. He says, "Hey, what's going on here?" Boom, dead. Just immediate, dude. Malga says Legends and the EU Star Wars so good. And this is the one part of Star Wars. This is what I tell, anybody who'll listen. Like, I love Star Wars. And I love different aspects of different. Like, I find something to love about every trilogy. Like, OT, prequel, sequel. Like, Phantom Menace was the first Star Wars film I ever saw in theaters. I've seen every Star Wars film that I've been able to see in theaters. So, like, the films is really where most of my knowledge is, and plus the live action shows. I've seen Rebels, but, like, the animation stuff, I want to do better at, like, picking up some of that stuff, the comic book version, the extended universe. That's the stuff that kind of, like, I'm not as familiar with. I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable about, like, again, live action films, shows, whatever. But yeah, dude, the Legends EU stuff, I totally agree. That's something that I want to get more into. X-Men says, my top guys for the big three fandoms, Wolverine, Batman, and Revan. Wow, Revan's number one on Star Wars. Dude, that's awesome. And I've heard this from a lot of people. Man. Steve says, good comments, Mark P. Absolutely. Mark P bringing the comments tonight, man. X-Men Supreme says, thing for me is I was just getting the helmets and other 1/1 props, and that was going to be it before I started 6 scale. So now I have almost every Mando Black Series helmet, and I think that keeps me good. Dude, I'm telling you, man, the Black Series helmets are really good. Like, I have these masks up here for Halloween and stuff, but I plan on getting a couple of those helmets. I really want the Sabine helmet, and I really want the Chrome Mando helmet, and I really want Bo-Katan as well, but I think I'm going to go Sabine and Chrome Mando. That might actually be what's up there eventually. Steve's been calling it. I feel like this figure in his mind is already figure of the year 2025. He's already decided it. X-Men says, you could say the same about Anakin in relation to Clone Wars and prequels. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's different versions. Like, that's what's so cool. It's like, and again, that's what I really love about the live action shows they're doing right now too, man. It's like they're going even deeper with these characters. They're giving us, more, it's kind of like the Kenobi series. Like, did we need that series? Probably not, but I enjoyed it. I really did. I didn't think it was perfect, but I enjoyed it. Plus, anytime you can see Ewan McGregor, man, it's Obi-Wan, dude. Just great performance. Malga says, if you don't want to read, there's a lot of good videos on YouTube. And this is the route I might go, dude. I don't normally do this with like if it's a show or a movie like Bad Batch, for instance. I just want to watch the Bad Batch. I already know everything that happens in it, so it's gonna be tough for me to watch it. But yeah. Then yeah, Steve says Old Republic lore is wild. Yeah, dude. See, that's the stuff that's like, and again, man, I even have a little bit of knowledge with some of the video game, like some of the game stuff, all this different. But yeah, this is kind of the stuff that's I definitely want to get a little bit more knowledgeable about with my Star Wars. Again, my main force of nostalgia with Star Wars is definitely the movies, and honestly, Mandalorian is up there now too because I just love Mandalorian so much. And Ahsoka's really good, but it's got to do it again with season 2. Like, if season 2 is great, kind of like how Mando gave us 2 great seasons, I feel like Ahsoka needs to give us another great season, and then that'll kind of enter the mix as well. Malga says, I just watched Clone Wars this year thanks to Steve. Binge watched the whole series in a couple weeks. Yeah, he's been trying to get me on it as well. I am watching, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's I'm not watching it from start to finish. I'm watching arcs. I'm like watching different arcs that I want to see. So I'm seeing, like, it might be the arc for the Mortis arc, or it might be the Mandalore arc, or it might be, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's kind of how I'm visiting that, and I've really enjoyed that. It kind of, again, every episode seems like it's good, or at least like warrants being there. But I know there's a lot of episodes that if you really just want to see like the most important aspects of the show, you can kind of go that route. Wayne Timothy says, as a lifelong OT fan, Ewan is my open one. Yeah, dude, he killed it with that role, man. He really did. All right, so let's take a look real quick. Is anybody, so let's do this. Let's do this. Let me get another poll going. Is BT1 coming home? Let me know in the comments. Or let me know, vote on this poll if you don't mind. Is BT1 coming home? Is anybody picking up BT1? Very interested to see what everybody's comments are. That's pretty much, I mean, I'll look at like one more of these photos here. I mean, it is what it is. It's a droid. It looks cool. Not for me personally. Still think it looks cool, but just definitely not an easy pass for me, as you could say. Easy pass. Malgus says, not coming home. Never read those comics. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, Malgus. And even if I did, man, I'll be honest with you, this kind of just does nothing for me personally. Just my opinion. All right. So we are 1 hour and 30 minutes in. We got a couple of topics left, you guys. I know it's late. I know it's 12:14. Thank you so much for still being here, everybody that showed up. We got 9 in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button if you wouldn't mind. That'd mean the world to me. And let's look at what we are going to talk about next, which is, let me pull this up. I didn't actually have this pulled up. Give me 1 second here, and I will pull this up. So with Halloween around the corner, we got, we're in spooky season, they say. This I thought was such a sneaky, cool announcement that I'm personally like super excited for. And if you're into collecting horror stuff, you might be as excited as well. But we have this right here, man. We have the Bride of Chucky 10-inch scale. Goodness, dude, these pop-ups, bro. 10-inch scale action figure. This retails for $69.99. Now, again, this is really cool because if you've had the Ultimate figures, those are about like 7-inch figures. So for this to be 10-inch figure, man, is really cool. It's almost going to fit in scale-wise, potentially with your like 6 scale stuff. So that's really exciting. But man, this looks awesome, dude. And if you're into collecting horror, this is a NECA Store US exclusive. Again, it's up for pre-order right now. I just think this looks amazing, dude. If you've never had a NECA figure of Chucky, they do Chucky really well. If you have I don't know if anybody's ever gotten a NECA Chucky doll, like a 1-to-1 scale doll, life-size doll, you could say. Incredible work they do. But Bride of Chucky, man, one of the definitive versions of Chucky for me. I don't know. Again, man, look at this. Had to wear it today. The Bride of Chucky shirt. But if you're in collecting horror, even if you're not collecting horror, it's kind of like we talk about, like what are some characters that you have to get, So say you're like, man, I kind of want like a horror figure, a horror character. Chucky is in that like realm of characters I think you should pick up. Obviously, you got Michael Myers, you got Jason, you got Freddy, you got all these icons, but Chucky is definitely, man, one of the like icons in horror. And to be able to get a 10-inch scale version of this character, man, from NECA is really exciting. And I just think this looks great, man. The material looks great. This is just going to be such a sick figure, man. This was an instant pre-order for me. Like, again, I'm so used to having to pre-order figures that are up north of $300. To be able to get this 10-inch scale, again, $69.99. Not a bad price, in my opinion, for what you're getting. This really looks like it's got some good quality to it. And plus, I'm really happy with all the NECA figures I own. I'm excited for this, man. 10-inch scale. It's kind of a weird scale. And I need a 6 scale Chucky. Yeah, I agree, Gio. That's what I need as well, man. like I really want that. Movie Canon says, when is the NECA Chucky releasing? Are you talking about this right here, Gio, or are you talking about the life-size doll? I think the life-size doll, if you pre-ordered it, the Bride of Chucky is shipping now. I'm hoping to get mine in soon. But if you're talking about this pre-orders, and this is going to be coming out, expected to start shipping December 2024, January 2025. Take this with a grain of salt, though, because they have been struggling with keeping up with... Oh, okay, you're talking about this one. Okay. They have been struggling to keep up with this, so this could definitely change. I would be shocked if this actually came out at this time, because, again, with some of these other ones... Now, maybe this is easier for them to make, so maybe this is better. But, like, with that doll, man, they've had to delay that a few times, and it's just now starting to ship out, I think. But this is an online NECA store exclusive, Geo. And I'm not trying to talk you into buying anything, but they make a point to say, like, hey, when it's gone, it's gone. So I don't know how popular this is going to be, but again, at $70, man, I mean, it was an instant pre-order for me, and one I'm excited to get at this scale, 10-inch scale. It's going to be really interesting. I just think it looks great. Again, here's this picture. You can kind of see, man, the hair sculpt here. Just, again, man, it's Chucky, dude. Chucky's such an icon, man. I love the Chucky films. Just a big fan of the Chucky franchise. But again, man, with the Ultimates, you know, you get like, you know, if you don't collect NECA figures, like a lot of the Ultimates are like, you know, it's like plastic. It's like hard plastic. It's like the material is usually plastic, stuff like that. So to have this be like a real, like, you know, the material be like fabric and stuff is really cool. And again, man, I can't stress this enough. Like a 10-inch scale version, man, that's such a cool, like, I haven't had that from NECA yet. You know, they've done quarter scale stuff, but a 10-inch scale, man, it's gonna be interesting. And you can kind of see it comes with this box art here, which is really cool. And so if you're an in-box collector, because some of these figures I collect in box as well, but dude, it just looks awesome, man. And again, aside from probably, honestly, man, this might be my favorite look for Chucky. Bride of Chucky is probably my favorite look for the character. That or Child's Play 2. Like, those are the two that I like really like. But I wanted to show this off real quick because I just think this is a really cool announcement from NECA. One that kind of like, I think they just kind of slipped in there like, oh, by the way, 10-inch scale Bride of Chucky. And yeah, dude, I just think it looks really good, man. They do a really good job with their sculpt work with the dolls. So I'm anticipating this to look really good. Again, their Ultimate line, those 7-inch figures look really good. So I am excited to be picking this one up. Like I said, this was truly a dopo for me. Geo says not bad at all. Yeah, the price really isn't too bad for this. Again, again, $70 to $70, but again, the Ultimates are normally like 35 to 40. So Movie Cannon says, I have a 1-of-1 good guy doll. Yeah, dude, I can't wait to get, it'll be my first one. It'll be this Bride of Chucky 1-of-1, man. So I'm definitely excited to pick that one up. Movie Cannon says, but there are better ones out there. Do you have the good guy doll? Do you have, is that Trick or Treat Studios or is that NECA? Which one do you got? Malga says, horror movies aren't my jam, but that figure looks cool. Yeah, it is, man. It's cool. If you're into horror stuff, like I said, NECA does a really good job. We're going to throw it over real quick to this as well, and we're going to be quick with this announcement. But they also did this. So if you don't know, this is the 50th anniversary for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You're starting to see a lot of different, if you go to like conventions and stuff, there's like a big presence of like the original actors and stuff who are doing a lot of like 50th anniversary. You know, they're bringing out a lot of box sets for the movies. They're bringing out some cool figures. And they have teased this on the NECA's Instagram here. You can say this is like the Pretty Woman version of Leatherface. Again, this is their Ultimate line, which will be, you get like a lot of accessories, a lot of different hands, a lot of, probably another interchangeable sculpt if I had to guess with this. And yeah, dude, I'm excited. I mean, I'm definitely collecting this. I have the original 1974, they call it like the Killing Mask version of this. And I've thought about picking up the Sideshow Leatherface. I actually thought, like, as a Halloween gift to myself to pick that one up, because they are re-releasing the Jason and the Freddy Krueger, and I have the Sideshow Mike Myers, so I kind of want that Sideshow Leatherface, but we'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to go over this just really quickly. I think it looks really cool. Again, if you're into this scale, I know a lot of us do 6 scale stuff, but I collect a lot of different scales as well. So NECA is one that I just constantly am collecting. I just love the product. I just think they do a great job with packaging. I think they do a great job with their figures. You don't have to watch it now, but I just had a review about the NECA Megan doll, and it's fantastic. It really did turn out really fantastic, man. Yomo says looks dope. I think he's probably talking about that Chucky, because this was from a few minutes ago, but either way, I agree with you. Malga says I did enjoy House of a Thousand Corpses until the end and the Devil's Rejects. That's about as horror as it gets for me. Well, if you like those, dude, I think you're gonna like a lot of other stuff too, because that's kind of like deep. To me, that's like kind of deep cut horror stuff, man. That's pretty like intense horror there. It's not like you're just liking, PG-13 Blumhouse horror movies, which I like, but like, those are usually more like accessible to wide audience. But yeah, dude, I feel like if you like that, man, I feel like you might want to explore some other stuff, dude, because I feel like you might actually like horror if you like that stuff, dude. So, Movie Cannon says the Sideshow Leatherface, I had issues with the joints. Yeah, see, that's what's kind of kept me from it, man. I really don't like the way those exposed joints look and all that stuff. So, yeah, that I agree, J.O. Mavis. That's pretty hardcore horror. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Totally agree. But yeah, I just want to look over those real quick. And yeah, so we're gonna go full screen here. All right, we're about an hour 45 minutes in. We are at 12:24 a.m. We got to get to this comment by Yomo though. Not a huge horror fan. I do have a Sideshow Jason figure that I won from Sideshow. It's a cool figure, but I think I might sell it because I don't really collect horror. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, again, I love horror, so like, I love collecting it. The cool thing about collecting horror is like, it's a good thing to collect, especially if you don't want to go like we're just talking about Star Wars, how much you have to collect of certain things. With horror, man, you can get like, a Chucky doll, and then you're set with Chucky. You can get it more, but Mike Myers, you can get one version of Mike Myers and you're usually pretty good. You can get some masks. There's like a lot of different variety of stuff you can get, whether it be masks, figures, posters, that goes for everything. But horror is like really cool because there's just like, there's just so many different characters you can collect, and they're all kind of iconic in a way, the ones that they make figures of at least. So I don't know, man. I'm really excited for like the Universal Monster stuff coming up from Caustic Plastic. I'm really excited for, like I said, those sideshow re-releases. We'll see what else gives us horror, man. But like NECA, to me, for the price, dude, like I just love collecting that stuff. I could still go into a, like a Target, a Walmart, whatever, still on the shelf. I'm able to pick up, a $35 figure that has a ton of accessories, looks really cool. And I'll probably always collect that, man. That's like one of my favorite things to collect, to be honest. And so getting some 6 scale versions of those figures is going to be really cool too. So, yeah, so 10 in the chat. If you're just joining us, we have talked about Moff Gideon. We have talked about BT1. We have talked about Leatherface announcement from NECA for the 50th anniversary of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've talked about a new NECA announcement for Chucky 10-inch scale figure. And last but certainly not least, it was actually our first topic of the night, so if you're going to watch the replay later, we have talked about the Hono Studios Unmasked Wolverine. It's just been one of those shows, man, where there's been stuff to talk about, but man, based on, last week we had the Wonder Festival we were talking about. We had all this different stuff. Wanted to integrate a few more scales into this. Let's see what Malga says here about horror. He says, I like the movies where I get immersed in the content, just never got that feeling while watching horror. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I mean, that, again, it's really, horror's got a definite, like, rabid fan base in terms of, there's people that just collect horror stuff, and like, man, their collections are insane. I try my best to collect as much as possible of horror, but I just love so much different stuff that mine's like a variety of stuff. So, but October, man, it's easy to get hyped for like some horror stuff because we're all kind of like in that spooky mode, so let me know, guys, in the comments below. So is anybody picking up any, like, okay, so if you're not a horror collector, but you're like somebody who really likes Halloween, what's your go-to horror movie for this time of year, man? Because I'll just give you a little preview of next week's episode. So next week's episode will be, let's see, what's today? Today's the 12th. So the 11th was Friday. So it'd be the October 18th show. Then the following one. So we got a couple of shows going up towards Halloween. I have some cool stuff planned for some cool topics that we're going to be talking about in terms of like Halloween, stuff like that. So I'm just kind of curious, what's everybody's like go-to horror movie this time of year? Again, it might not even be your favorite horror movie, but what's your favorite movie to watch around Halloween time? Like what really gets you in the spirit of Halloween? I'm definitely excited to talk about this because this might be coming up in next week's episode. So let's see what everybody's got to say. X-Men Supreme says Gremlins. So Gremlins is great because it can be both a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie, in my opinion. It's kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's more of a Christmas movie, in my opinion, but it can work for both. This is a super underrated movie, Sleepy Hollow. I agree, man. That just gives you all those fall, like, gothic vibes, dude. Great choice here. Wayne Timothy with another great choice. Mine is The Shining. Dude, I love The Shining, man. Again, dude, just... oddly enough, man, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way. We got some great horror fans in the chat. I know Gio's a big horror guy. The Shining, I know it's kind of a messed up movie, okay? But hear me out on this. The Shining is kind of like that comfort movie. Like, it's not a comfort movie in terms of like, ooh, I feel good while watching it. But like, there's something about the way that movie is shot and the way that movie is paced that like you kind of get wrapped up. It's like, and I think it might be because the movie takes place and like, you know, there's a lot of snow, they're kind of isolated. So it kind of makes you feel, I'm not going to say makes you feel cozy, but like there's something about that movie, man. And I think that's what's so brilliant about it is it like draws you in and makes you kind of feel comfortable and cozy in a way. Because you know something's up, but at the same time, you're like, damn, dude, that'd be kind of cool to have like a whole hotel to explore. Like, got all these different rooms, man. It's warm. Like, you got these warm areas when it's cold outside. Like, it's kind of, you know, it's just the vibe of it. And then again, shit hits the fan. And so then it doesn't become so cozy anymore. But that's what's so great about that movie, man, is how it like really draws you into that. There's like this presence, like that, you know, something's going to go. And this is a great comment. The music really does it for me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like from the early stages, it's like something's off, but like there's enough familiar there to where like you kind of are drawn in until like the stuff, you know, and stuff slowly starts ramping up. Yeah, just a great film, man. Great film. Christian Cooper says, not a big horror guy, but I don't mind Halloween or Jordan Peele movies. Dude, I'm telling you right now, Nope, to me, is absolutely fantastic. I loved Nope, man. I don't know if anybody else has seen Nope, but I really, really enjoyed that one, dude. You know, Get Out was good. I wasn't as like, you know, I didn't like absolutely love Get Out. I thought it was good. You know, I liked it. I like it more when the more I've watched it. But Us is one that I really liked the first time, but I don't really like it that much anymore, man. Like, Us really was effective for me the first time, but on revisits, on rewatches, I'm just not as into it. But Nope, man, I've only seen Nope once, but I loved it. I thought it was great, man. It has a lot of layers to it, and I don't know, man. There's a lot going on with that movie that just feels like it's very rewarding on like multiple watches. Gio knows a good film when he sees it. Loves Sleepy Hollow. I do too, man. I do too. Malga says Headless Horseman is an S tier character. Yeah, dude, that Headless Horseman is a Halloween icon, bro. Halloween icon, dude. I actually have, again, I might still do this. I might do like a Halloween like tour of my place here, man. Cause so y'all can see my Halloween decorations. Because you're really just seeing this, but I got all kinds of like horror movie posters, horror movie things, and then I got like some Halloween stuff, and I have this really cool like Headless Horseman, like, I don't want to call it a figure, it's like a statue looking thing, but I kind of want to show that off, so I might do that video. Let me know if y'all want to see that. Christina Ricci and Johnny Depp in that movie are fantastic, dude. Sleepy Hollow is... Dude, that might be my favorite Burton. That might be my favorite Tim Burton, dude. I mean, Beetlejuice is up there too. Yeah, Beetlejuice might be my favorite, but Sleepy Hollow is definitely like top 3 Burton for me. I just think it's a super strong movie. X-Men talking about The Shining. LOL, yeah, the bleeding walls and creepy little kids, super cozy. Yeah, I get it. But what I mean is, like, there's something about that movie that, like, I think that was, like, designed to make you feel isolated and to make you feel so, like, when you're kind of like home alone or whatever, there's that weird thing where, like, you got a blanket on, you're eating some popcorn. It has that ability to kind of get you, there's parts where, like, she's making the food in the morning, like she's like cooking stuff. She's like, the parts where he's like riding on that little bicycle or whatever, and it's on hardwood, and then it goes to hardwood carpet. So the sound design just kind of invites you in and kind of calms you. And then when stuff gets weird, like the music, and that's what Wayne Timothy was talking about, the music really amps it up. So, like, that's all I kind of meant. Maybe not cozy, like cozy might have been the wrong word for it, but it just it's one of those movies that, like, when it's cold outside, it's nice to watch it because it's like it takes place, like I said, in that like winter storm blizzard. So, like, I don't know. X-Men Supreme says Critters. Yeah, Critters is pretty good too, man. I don't mind Critters. Wayne Timothy says The Shining is one of the few horror movies where it's bright for almost the whole movie. And that's what's so great about it, man. It's like there's weird stuff that happens in that movie, but it's all out in the open. It's all like, that's a great point, man. Aside from them, going through that maze towards the last few, moments of the film. Christian says Us was creepy. Us was creepy, man, but on, like, I've watched it, I think, like twice after that, and each time I watch it, I like it a little bit less. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's still a good movie, but just not one that I go to too often. X-Men talks about The Gate. It's been a while since I've seen The Gate, man. I got to revisit that. Movie Canon says, for nostalgia, Casper from 1995 and Hocus Pocus, absolute Halloween classics right here, Gio. Horror film, Freddy vs. Jason, or first two Nightmare on Elm Street's, comedy, Bride of Chucky. Yeah, I love Bride of Chucky, dude. And I'm telling you, man, Freddy vs. Jason, I love Freddy vs. Jason, dude. I've always loved Freddy vs. Jason. Great choice there, man. Wayne Timothy says The Witch is another movie I love this time of year. Yeah, I didn't mind The Witch. I didn't love it as much as other people. I think it's pretty good. I didn't love it. I don't know, man. Robert, I'm really looking forward to Nosferatu. I think Nosferatu could be amazing. I really love The Northman, man. Robert Eggers. I really loved The Northman. Lighthouse was, I don't know, man. Lighthouse was like just almost too, like, it kind of took too much, like, pride in being, like, kind of felt like a little pretentious a little bit from time to time. The Witch felt like a true, like, horror movie, but Lighthouse was something I really wanted to love. The Lighthouse, I really did. I just couldn't connect with it at all. And I don't even know if I dislike it. I just don't have it was like a disconnect there. I don't know how to describe it. There were some parts of it I liked, but, like, as a whole, I just couldn't get into it. Movie Canon says, I also love the original Psycho and The Shining, and of course Halloween. Yeah, dude, I always watch the Halloween films. All of them, honestly. The one I skip the most is part 5, probably, if I had to. Well, in the Rob Zombie Halloweens, but dude, if you like Psycho, man, what do you think about Psycho 2 and Psycho 3? So I didn't even realize this, X-Man, that the Headless Horseman shows up in Assassin's Creed 3. That is awesome, dude. Steve says Halloween OG is the GOAT to me and forever will be. Yeah, I love Halloween, man. If you love Halloween, I always tell people, because everybody says, Halloween was like the first movie like that. Like, dude, Halloween took a lot from Black Christmas, 1974, Black Christmas. Black Christmas, if you haven't seen it, dude, that is a great horror film. And I would really implore you to check it out. Like, I'm not saying you're going to like it as much as Halloween. Halloween, like, mainstream that. Like, it popularized that thing. But, like, in terms of, like, POV, like, seeing through the POV of the slasher, like, Halloween, and even John Carpenter said it, like, Black Christmas, walked so Halloween could run in a way. So definitely check out Black Christmas. Again, 1974. I even like this 2007 version of Black Christmas. I haven't watched this newest version. But that one's kind of like a comedy kind of thing. But dude, I'm telling you, the 1974 Black Christmas, dude, it's a really scary movie, man. Like, for real. It's a great movie. X-Men says I still have to see The Lighthouse. Yeah, I mean, it's worth seeing. I couldn't get into it, man. Gio says, can't wait for Nosferatu Christmas Day. Yeah, I can't wait either. I can't wait to see that. Lighthouse was okay. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of how I felt about it. Just okay. Wayne Timothy says, Rob Zombie does not understand what made Michael Myers scary. He totally demystified him. Yeah, there was just, again, man, I've heard that there was some... I've seen some interviews where he didn't get a lot of support from Carpenter, which I don't blame Carpenter for. I don't think that... I don't know. I don't know too much about what went on, but I do know that, like, there was some... That was a tough 2 films to get made, but I think Rob Zombie's got some talent as a filmmaker, man. I just don't really connect with his stuff, to be honest with you. It's just not for me. And I absolutely hated his take on Halloween. Absolutely hated it. And again, I don't mind different takes, man. I mean, I love, like, Halloween 3, Halloween Ends. I'll defend those, man. But just couldn't get in and there's some people that love the Rob Zombie Halloweens, man. So that's what's so cool about it. Like, that's why I like when different directors can, like, do different things with it, because there's always, it's something for everybody. X-Men Supreme says Krampus was terrifying, the sheer hopelessness of it. Yeah, Krampus, dude, I love Krampus, man. And Trick or Treat. So Trick or Treat is another one that's like an absolute must for this time of year. I don't think there's any other movie aside from maybe Halloween that capture the feeling and essence of Halloween night and Halloween, evenings like Trick or Treat does. It absolutely captures the spirit of Halloween in it. And I love that movie so much, man. Love it. Gio says, I haven't seen Psycho 2 or 3. I heard terrible things about them, so I didn't want to taint the 1960 version. So I will say, man, I would encourage you to watch Psycho 2. At least Psycho 2, maybe even Psycho 3. It's a lot different than Psycho, so almost look at it as like a completely different thing. I don't think it would tarnish it for you. It's interesting the direction they go with it. So I think it's worth checking out, and I think you'll at least enjoy it to some degree. Mark P says, Terminator 1 or 2, what's better in your opinion? Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is better. I think Terminator 1 has more on its mind in terms of... What's the best way to describe this? So I think Terminator 1 has more to say about technology, the future of all that stuff. Like, I think it has more to say about, like, what it's trying to get across. And I do like that that aspect of it. But Terminator 2, I think, is just an absolute incredible film, dude. Like, it's just, the action is incredible. The performances are incredible. And again, I really like Terminator 1. Like, Terminator 1 is really good too. But Terminator 2 just was a different level for me, man. So I got to go with Terminator 2 all day. Movie Canon says T2. Mark P says, I rewatched T2 2 nights ago and best sequel of all time. Yeah, dude, it's hard to, I mean, again, man, that's what's so crazy about James Cameron, dude, is he gave us T2. He gave us Aliens. So again, man, it's just, yeah, dude, T2 is just so damn good. X-Men says, I like the soundtrack from the Rob Zombie movies. Yeah, I mean, again, there's some stuff to like about it, especially the first Rob Zombie Halloween. It's not all terrible, but it just, again, man, it's just not my cup of tea. It didn't do it for me. Zombie Halloween 2, one of the worst movies I've ever seen, in my opinion. I hated Halloween 2. It felt like a big, like, and I don't care if people do something different with the character. Like, I don't hold the character, like, I don't want to, like, I don't want people to never take chances with stuff. I respect when people take chances. But at the end of the day, you still have to find, like, the essence of the movie. You still have to find something there. And I just felt like Halloween 2 was just this, like, I don't know, man. I agree with you, man. I really hated that movie. Wayne says, when it comes to horror, no movie ending is more hopeless than The Mist, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, The Mist. Dude, I remember when I went and saw The Mist, man. It was, dude, I was like just jaw on the floor the last 5 minutes of that movie, dude. I loved that ending, but like, I loved it because I was not expecting it. But when I think back on the movie, I'm like, shit, that I don't know if it works. I'll put it that way. Like when I rewatch the movie, I'm not sure if the ending for that movie works, but it was shocking the first time I watched it, and the first time I watched it, it really did shock me, and I loved it. But when you rewatch it, in knowing that that's coming at the end, it's just I don't think it works. Mitchell says both T1 and T2 are classics. I agree. T2 is an incredible sequel, but T1 is a darker film. That's what I'm saying. T1 had a lot more to say in terms of like the danger. Like I feel like T2 it still got that across, but it was, and I think that's why it succeeded in a lot of ways, is because it focused more on just like being like kind of an action adventure type film, where T1 there was a lot more exposition in T1, a lot more like, John Reese kind of explaining everything that's going on. But I do like that they were on the run from Terminator, and like there was this, again, seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger like that in a villain role was really cool. Yeah, dude, just another underrated classic here. Gave us The Abyss. Yeah, man. I mean, Cameron's just dropping classics left and right, dude. Mitchell agreeing with X-Men that Critters in the Gate are underrated horrors. Gio saying the Mist ending was nuts. It was, man. Still think about that ending. Mitchell Lawrence, people understand is jokes. Yeah, dude, people understand. Dude, you know what? And again, we're going to close up here pretty soon, but we will be talking more about this type of stuff. So definitely tune in next week. I got, like I said, for the remainder of October, it's just now starting to get some type of fall weather here. So, I mean, I decorate for Halloween like early September, dude. Like, that's how into it I get. So, I've had my decorations up for a while, but I'm just now starting to get into my, getting into my real, like, Halloween stuff. Like, I watch horror movies. I mean, I watch horror movies year round. But I'll start watching, horror movies, Halloween stuff, like in September. But I always save, like, my favorite Halloween stuff, like movies and stuff, for right now, for like this time of year through the 31st. So very excited to chat with you about that in next week's episode. Again, I usually wait till the day up to kind of post like the stream or whatever. I'm going to probably post the thumbnail and stuff and get the stream scheduled probably midweek next week. And I might even stream more than once this week. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely be streaming next Friday. And again, I think I'm going to lock down a time. I'm not sure what the time's going to be. I'm thinking like 9 or 9:30 Central start time for this. Just because, man, again, I appreciate you guys being here. We still got 11 in the chat at 12:45 a.m. Tons of stuff you could be doing. I appreciate y'all being here, man. It really does mean the world to me. But I do want to get like a specific time. Again, it kind of just depends. It might be one night, it might be like 9. One night it might be 9:30. It usually goes between 9 and 10:30. So again, I have some stuff planned for October. Obviously stuff planned for future episodes throughout the year. But we'll talk more about that. X-Men says, I still say that John Connor never existed. Kyle Reese was sent back to create a self-fulfilling prophecy by impregnating a woman who fit a specific psych profile and could raise their Messiah. That's very interesting take, man. Very interesting take. Man, this is deep cut right here. This is a deep cut take right here, X-Men. Not sure if I agree with this, but this is very intriguing. This is what I love theories, man, because it's just fun to kind of be like, man, well, what if it was like this, Malgus Frimper says another hour. We could, Malgus. I'm running on fumes right now. But I can, and again, man, this week was weird with the topics. Like, I feel like the topics were there, but I don't know, man. I'm hoping this week's more hype. Steve says, thanks a lot for pushing the stream later. You're real with that. Yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, I knew that you kind of had a, you were kind of doing a special stream because you wanted to do some of the really cool giveaways and stuff. So yeah, man, no problem. Like I said, man, I'm happy to support, and I'm happy that you're supporting me on this stream, man, by being here, comment, dude. So I appreciate that. Again, if you haven't caught Steve's stream. I know a lot of you guys that are in here were probably there, but if not, definitely catch the replay on that. Did a 4-hour stream tonight, special Friday night stream, because I don't think he's going to be doing a sneak peek on Sunday, but he is also going to be going to New York Comic Con next week. So definitely getting prepped for that. So that's going to be fun to see some content from that. So as always, man, I appreciate you. Malgus says sip on some more of that energy drink. Okay. You know what, Malgus? You know what? Whoa. Before we go to bed tonight, guys, before we log off, that energy drink it gave me enough energy to do this. Can I ask y'all for one favor? Before we sign off for the night, look me in the eyes. Before we sign off for the night, can we have one hype? Let's get hyped one last time on Casual Friday, baby. Even though it's technically Saturday in some parts, especially the West Coast, it's still Friday. So we're gonna do this. Let me make sure this doesn't get too loud. But let's have a little mini dance party here. Let's get hyped one last time. All right, RIP headphone users. Here we go. Damn it. What song do I want to do here? What song should we vibe to, man? Let's vibe one last time, guys, on Casual Friday. Should we do this one? No, we don't want to do that one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Wait for that beat drop, baby. Wait for that beat drop. Hey. Come on. Come on, 10 in the chat. Let's go. We're closing out tonight on Casual Friday. We're closing out, guys. We're closing out. Give me one more minute of energy before we sign up for the night, before we see each other next week on Casual Friday. We're getting ready for the weekend, man. It's Saturday. What are we going to do? We're going to go to Home Depot. I don't know if we're going to have enough time. Got some great stuff planned. Maybe go grocery shopping, maybe watch some college football. However you want to spend your weekend, man. Make sure you spend your weekend the way you want to spend it, unless you have work, obviously. I mean, then you got to go to work. Let's get hyped one last time. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. One last time. One more beat drop. Thank y'all for being here, man. Really appreciate you guys. 8 left in the chat. We're going almost on 1 in the morning. Yeah. Yes. Casual Friday, baby. We got about 10 more seconds of the song, baby, and then we're going to sign off for the night. And we'll be back, though. We'll be back. We'll be back, baby. Man. Ready for the weekend. I know you guys are. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. Let's have a good weekend. Man. We lost 5 people. Some people said, you know what's funny is I bet there was a few people that had the stream up, forgot that it was on, then just started hearing that music and we're like, what the hell? And then they look and they're like, what the hell is this dude doing at 1 o'clock in the morning? Go to bed. Go to bed and never, ever show up on my screen again. Ever. Gonna do one last thing here. Malgus for Emperor Attaboy Justin. Malgus, listen, man. We're gonna get an earlier start next week. We're gonna go a little longer next week. Hopefully, we got some more to talk about. I'm gonna sign off here pretty soon, Malgus. I tried to give you another hour, man. Forgive me. If we had some more topics to talk about, we'd be getting in on it. But let's close it out. Let's go out on a high note, on that dance note. Let's go out on a high note. Malga says it's not even 11 here. See, that's what I'm saying, Malgus. We're gonna start a little earlier. We can start a little earlier next week. Like I said, I'm thinking 9 or 9:30 might be the official time from now on. We'll see. Sneaker says the Evie Mux music is goated. Yeah, Evie Mux music is great, man. I actually imported some other royalty-free music, Steve. And I'm telling you, man, it's a movie out here. It's a movie, baby. It's a movie. All right, I'm kind of annoying myself now. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of annoying myself a little bit. I'm going to be real with you. The energy drink's wearing off, fellas. X-Men, he's dancing. I think that's him just saying, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm trying to stay here. I'm trying to stay with you, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Arms weak. Mom spaghetti on a sweater already. Malgus is dancing, doing a salsa dance. That is incredible. I don't know salsa, but I'm assuming that's what that is. X-Man just bumping the music. RIP headphone users if you weren't prepared for the beat drop. That's just, that's why that royalty-free music goes, baby. X-Men really getting it. Dude, I love this. X-Men just doing all kinds of emojis here. I don't know if that shows up on YouTube, but some great emojis here. Malga says 5 quitters. Yeah, I think they had to turn down the music, man. Maybe they were like doing something. Maybe they were like staying up late watching TV. They were supposed to be, getting to bed early for work the next morning, or maybe a big trip to Costco, dude. I don't know. Steve says run it back. I mean, we can run it back. We got 10 in the chat. Can we, dude, how cool would it be if we ran it back? All of a sudden we keep doubling, and then there's 20 in the chat. Then there's 40. Then there's 80. Then there's one. Then there's, okay, so no. Okay. I'm just kidding. 160. I know math. Malga says encore. X-Men says quitters never win. So we got 11 in the chat now. Wayne Timothy says, thanks for the stream, Justin. Have a great weekend all. I mean, in Wayne's defense, I did say I was signing off about 5 different times. So if people left, that's probably on me. X-Men says Jazz Inc. Catwoman. Jazz Inc. Catwoman. What did this just, is this up for pre-order? The Jazz Inc. Catwoman, the Jazz Inc. Batman? Movie Can says the dot of excitement. See, CGO, I feel like there's a little bit of, I think you could be onto something here. I think there's a little bit of like, they were so excited. They said, you know what? I can't get this excited at 1:00 in the morning. I gotta get off this stream. Malgus Rimper says, I know salsa tastes great with chips. This is what happens, you guys. This is what happens when you keep the stream going just a little too long. I'm kidding. This is actually a good comment. I'm upset that I led myself right into this comment. This is on me. This is a great comment, but it's my fault that it happened. I should have known. Malgus is quick with this stuff, man. Malgus is quick. On a scale of 1, even he can't. Yeah. So Jazz Inc. Catwoman, and don't worry, guys. If y'all were about to sign off, we're not going to go too deep into this. But is Jazz Inc. Catwoman pre-order up today? I kind of need to know that, actually, because I kind of might want to get that. Oh, we got to close this poll, you guys. Is BT1 coming home? 10 votes. 80% say no. 80% say no, it's not coming home. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, they just put up the save the date. Oh, okay. And then Steve says, what's Steve saying here? October 17th. Okay, they'll be putting X-Men says they'll be putting out the prices before she goes live though. So do we still not know the prices for this? We still don't know the prices for Jazz Inc. Catwoman? Dude, I saw $1,300. It's like the first thing I typed in, but luckily that is the bust from that's the bust from some company. I can't remember. But let's see what we got here with Jazz Inc. here. Oh shit, man, that's from May 24th. All right, whatever. I don't have the strength, you guys. I don't have the strength to find this information out. Let's see if anybody helped me in the chat. Steve says that's nice. We get the prices first. So before we actually leave, Steve? I know you're all in on that. I know you're picking up some version of it. X-Man, I'm assuming you are as well. You're going to be pre-ordering this. Malga says, I think BT1 running into the same issues that Droidica is running into. The price is too high for what people are getting. Yeah, dude, you know what's crazy is I'm almost thought about getting the Lego Droidica. I'm being dead serious, dude. Like Lego, like I'll get some Lego Star Wars stuff. Like that's a cool way. So a little collecting hack, in my opinion, is how we don't get a lot of like vehicles and stuff. Like that's a way to kind of get vehicles. I mean, if you don't like Lego, like that's fine. But I like Lego, so like I've even thought about building the DeLorean Lego set, dude. So I don't have to spend $2,000 on a DeLorean. Yeah, gotta have that Catwoman. X-Men Supreme says, gotta have that Catwoman. You know it. That Catwoman does look good, man. And I do want to have a Jazz Inc. piece. I kind of want to support. I like the work that again, just from afar. I don't know anything about Jazz Inc. I don't know. This is just like watching it from afar, watching people's streams. I just like the passion that goes into a lot of these pieces, and I don't have a Jazz Inc. piece, and I've heard really good things. So I'm kind of interested. And the vehicles are probably not a reality for me, so I would like to support. I would like to support that by getting a figure, and I think it's cool that it's like an officially licensed Batman Returns figure. Malga says Lego. Now we're talking. Yeah, man, a lot of great Lego sets, dude. If you really like to like build ships, dude, again, you're paying for it. Trust me. Like if you're getting the UCS line, the Ultimate Collector Series stuff, dude, like these ships and stuff, you're paying for it. But they look fantastic. Geo says, I'm getting Catwoman unless Hot Toys unveils Malibu Stacy with a hat first. Oh, okay, Geo. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I am interested to see if Hot Toys announces anything. They already got the Batman Return, so we've talked about this before. I'm interested to see if they do anything with the license. X-Men says, hey, they have the Ray Speeder still, and it's a decent price. That shit looks good. Are you talking about the Lego set, Geo? I mean, Geo. I'm so sorry, X-Men. Yeah, I was reading your other comment where you said Geo, LOL, OMG, this one. So that's what I was reading. It says, hey, they have the Ray Speeder still, and it's a decent price. This shit looks good, though. DX Ray Speeder. Is it? Oh, Jazz Inc., bro? Well, X-Men, I love Ray, bro. So I gotta look at this. Let's take a look. Oh, damn. Am I on the right site here? So let me go to this real quick. Just tell me if I'm on the right site here. Okay, I'm on Jazz Inc. Dioramas. Again, I'm gonna just share my ignorance. I've never bought anything from Jazz Inc. I'm not super familiar with it, to be totally real with you. So if I'm on the wrong site, just be gentle with me. Let me see if I can. Let me move this over. And then let's share. So let's go over to screen share this tab. Is this the site? So 349 episode 7 Speeder. Man, when did this come out? Has this been out for a while? I would assume so, right? Yeah, let me know in the comments if this one. Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Yeah, this looks really good, dude. X-Men says, yeah, that's the basic version. Oh, so it's been out for years. Okay. I'm going to be totally honest with you, though. I kind of want this, bro. I'm not going to lie. And for this price, dude, because again, man, I'll defend. Again, I'm not defending the whole trilogy, but I'll defend Rey and Kylo, man. I really love both those characters, especially Kylo, obviously. But I love the Force Awakens Rey look, and I love this diorama here. So this could be a possibility, dude. Let's see. X-Men says the looks has the net with all the junk, I believe. Is there? Let me see if I can find that. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we got this right here. Yeah, dude, the 1/6 scale sand speeder. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, that's sick, dude. That's really not a terrible price either. I don't know how big it is, but that's not too bad. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So for the deluxe version, it looks like it's a 425 geo, and then for the other one, I think it's 349. Again, I'm not saying that it's worth it. I just never have gotten a Jazz Ink piece, so like I thought that this would be way more expensive, but maybe because it's like the scale's not like insanely big, but maybe it is. I don't know. X-Men says, I'm telling you, look at the deluxe. You're going to love it. Jed has a really nice review of it, too. I'll check that out, actually, dude. I appreciate you sharing this with me because I'm really wanting to pick up my first Rey. I just can't decide which one I want. As much as I love the outfit for The Force Awakens, I'm hoping they revisit that soon. If they're going to revisit it, I think they'd revisit that version of the character because I'm not like a huge fan of that sculpt. But I definitely want to get a Rey to go with my Kylo, man. So this might push that forward. But if I get this, obviously I got to get the Force Awakens version. But yeah, dude, this is cool. All right. X-Men says, I'm so tempted. This is the piece that got me looking at Jazz Ink. This is beautiful. Yeah, I agree, dude. And again, I've said it before, Rey and Kylo, that's like a priority for me in collecting for Star Wars personally. So that would be a sweet piece, man. And I agree. And I pretty much agree with this as well. Like I love Scavenger Rey, man. So great character, great version of the character, great outfit, everything, man. Gio says I'd be tempted if I had a Rey figure. Yeah. And then Steve says scroll down for shipping. Okay, hold on. Scroll down for shipping. So $85 shipping. Damn. That's tough. But it looks really good. So all right, guys. All right, let's see. Malga says $85 doesn't seem too bad, all things considered. Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's just it definitely adds another. It's not too bad either, but now it makes it with taxes and everything. Now you're looking over for that deluxe version, definitely over 500 and something. But again, for a vehicle, not too bad. And plus, for some people, that's definitely a necessity to have with their Rey figure. All right, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here, man. Steve says, yeah, it's not bad. I thought it'd be more. Yeah, Steve, well, I've looked at the other ones for the US and Canada. It's 85 to like Asia, New Zealand, Australia, South America. It's like $210, $230, dude. X-Men says no tax. It's coming. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it could be living in Australia, $230, dude. That's crazy. I feel bad. Yeah, 85 is not looking so bad anymore. All right, you guys. So again, thank y'all so much for being here. Who's still left? We still got 5 people in the chat, which again, I've said it before, man. I don't care if there's one person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 40 people, 400. I appreciate everybody that decides to come by and spend a little time here on the show, on the stream, Casual Friday. Again, 1:00 Central Time. Could be later where you're at, could be earlier. but I appreciate every single one of you. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to kick it to the outro. Malga says, Justin, get a join button. What is that? Do you have to be monetized for that? Because I'm not monetized yet. Maybe that has to get a join button. Maybe you have to be monetized for that. I'm close, but not there yet. I'm almost there. Mark P says, great stream. Mark P, you made it even better, man, by being here and with the great comments. I really appreciate it. Till next time, you know it, Mark P. You know it. Again, guys, thank y'all so much, man. I will definitely see y'all next week. Again, I'll post a thumbnail and stuff on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, go follow me on Instagram. I'll post like the thumbnail, kind of let you know, probably like midweek next week. So that way I get this show kind of out, to where you can kind of like, know what's coming. But I'm going to definitely shoot for that 9 to 9:30 time frame. Really appreciate every single one of you. Appreciate you, Steve, saying night all. Appreciate you, Steve. Appreciate everybody that decided to stop by tonight and spend casual Friday here on the stream, man. Really, really appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time. Kick it to the outro. Let's go.